Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back
Woo!
to another episode of Talking We have got with us to start the show the Comic Lizard, the Jaded Geek, and the most electrifying man on whatnot, Fuzzy and the Fat Man Comics.
What's up, ladies and gents?
All right, so there's a lot of cool stuff that happened to all of us this past weekend. A lot of conventions going on. It seemed like our whole circle of friends all went to something cool, and they were all in a different place. Liz, you didn't go anywhere cool?
I don't think they can. Something happened to the sound.
Oh, we're gonna. It's kind of sad. The only sound language I know isn't official, but it's just.
I know that this means asshole, and this is apple. So I can call someone an asshole that eats my apple. I know that much, dude. I can spell my name and shit, but nothing. I couldn't carry on a full conversation.
So, I saw some of the pictures of where you were at. What'd you go do?
No, dude, we went. This weekend was crazy, but the Sunday was we went to the preview of Super Mario World or Super Nintendo Land or whatever it's called, and it's pretty dope, dude. But like the kids, it's good for kids. Hey, they're back.
We can hear you now.
Awesome, dude. Yeah,
You gotta stop talking shit about us because we can hear you.
I wasn't talking shit, man. I was trying to help you, but then all of a sudden I saw fingers flying. I was like, whoa. But I got to go to the Super Nintendo, the preview of it, the land that they have out there, Universal. And so I broke down. I bought the kids and me all the fucking. They have it's with the Wizarding World, they have the wands, and you can walk up and like make things happen. Well, here they give you like it's a little slap band, and it's $40, and it looks like a little watch, but you could pick like Mario, Luigi, whoever, and then throughout the little like, and it legit, it's little, like it looks big, but it's not. Like it's just a corner, and you can walk up to the little question marks, and you hit it with your hand, and it goes ding. It makes the noise while you're getting the coins, and then you walk up to another thing, and you get points. And you have to get so many points and keys. So there's things throughout the park you got to do. Like I posted a video of the kids like winding up the thing and finding the Goomba. And then if you do that, you scan it and then you get a key. If you get 3 keys, you get to go fight Baby Bowser in this other room. And so it's like a live video game, like kind of and stuff. So I was like, I like that part of it.
What do you do when you fight them?
I didn't get to do it because fucking there was a line to get in. The biggest line there, okay, there's a ride. There's the things you could scan. The final boss, the biggest line was for the restaurant. Like, it was huge. My wife got in line just because we were like, oh, we thought this was the ride line. Like, because it was just so big, you know what I mean? And we saw it was like a 120-minute wait. And I was like, well, you get there and I'll run around with the kids and get them their things. And then we'll come keep checking on you. And we find out it's for the restaurant. And it wasn't even to get into the restaurant. It was to get a reservation to eat at the restaurant. And I was like,
what?
Yeah. I'm like, what the hell's in there? And so like, I go to look at the menu and it's the fucking same things that are up there, like the burger, except they had a Mario mustache and a Mario hat. And I was like, what? I don't need to wait 2 hours. I can go upstairs to fucking Krusty's place and get the same burger. So I was like, fuck that. So we went and we got in the line for the ride that they have there, which is Mario Kart. And the idea is dope, but it was confusing as shit. Like I'm old, I guess. I don't know what it is, but like, so you sit in the car. Like, so did you guys do the Spider-Man one where you gotta where you do this, right? So it's similar to that, but what you do is you put on a Mario hat and then they have these virtual reality glasses in there, and you put them on, and then they have the Mario Kart wheel, and then on there are these little triggers that you could shoot the turtle shells, and you have to shoot like Koopa and like all the Koopa team, and you get coins for each one you hit. But if you hit like Toad or Princess, you lose tokens. And so you can win trophies and stuff like that. So while, again, it's Mario Kart, so you're thinking you're going to go fast, you know what I mean? And you're going to be doing this. It's like, no, it's like Mr. Toad's Wild Ride where you're like turning like this, you know what I mean? And you're supposed to turn the wheel to make it match. But like everywhere you look, you'll see like racers coming by you and you have to like shoot them and stuff like that. And so, I mean, it was fun, but nothing, you know, like, I'm mad I spent the $40 on the bracelet for myself. Not for the kids, but I'm mad that I spent. I thought it was going to be cool. Like I was going to be able to do something fun with it or something.
But we're planning on when we come out to go do that because Lucas is all about Mario and everything Mario. So I know.
Oh, and then he'll love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be hanging out drinking butterbeer and Harry Potter land, but like
hit me up. I'll let you borrow my band, so you don't have to pay the $40. You know what I mean? Like, I'm still pissed about that. I was like, motherfucker, I'm an idiot. I fell for the goddamn gimmick. Like, what stopped me in Harry Potter was the price. You know, it's like $100 for a wand, and so I was like, what the. Oh no, I don't need to see things spin around that much, dude. Like, I mean, no, what wand did you get that wasn't $100?
I was gonna say when we went though, it was right when Harry Potter Land first opened. Our wands weren't that expensive. We had the ones where you walk up to the windows and you get things. They weren't that. I think they were what, like $50?
If that, yeah.
Yeah, they must have jacked the prices up sooner or later, but.
50, like 40 to 50 is my limit where I'm going, like where you're going to get me to kind of go, okay, maybe. But then like that's how they got me with the goddamn bracelet. I was like, it's $40 and every kid got one. I was like, well, fuck, I want to play too. You know, like, I'm a big kid at heart. You don't want to play. So I do it. I'm like, fuck, I shouldn't have spent that $40.
I probably wouldn't have done that at Mario World, but I definitely like my wand. So it's insane. We unpacked them a couple weeks ago. I was like, I found our wand. Our wand's made it to the Tennessee game.
I was standing in Wizard World with the thing, trying to like wave it in front of it to see if it did anything, but nope, it didn't work. It didn't work. I was trying to be cheap. Yeah, that was fun. I mean, it was fun, but like again, like if you love Mario, like you love Nintendo, it is yours. Like they literally have everything done exactly like if you feel like you're in the Nintendo world. But
did they replace it with something? Like what did they take out to put in, or did they expand something?
So you know when you go down the stairs and then there's Jurassic World here, and then they got the Transformers right here. It's right in between them, right there. So almost where which one?
The Mummy Ride?
Yeah, the Mummy Ride's still there.
What was else down there?
So remember when back in the day when you would go down there and the Transformers is like a new building kind of, or it's like half of the Backdraft building.
Yeah.
You remember how you would just make a left and then that was Backdraft?
Yeah.
It's right there. It's like that's where it used to be. But I mean, like it's when you walk in, you legit like go like, oh shit! Like it feels like you go through the little, what do you call it? The pipe, and then they got all the glowing thing. You know what I mean? Then you walk out, and everything looks like 8-bit. And dude, I didn't even get to tell the one thing that creeped me out. Like I yelled really loud. I was like, what the fuck? Everyone was staring at me. Was Princess Peach comes out, and it's like the Mickey Mouse like style, right? But the eyes were blinking, and like the mouth was moving as she was talking, and it was all digital. So it looked like Megan, like the fucking doll. So I was like standing there, and I'm talking to the kid like this, and I look up over, and she's like right there, and she's like, "Hi!" I was like, "Oh fuck!" I almost punched her in the face.
That assaults Princess Peach at the opening of Super Mario Land.
Like, holy shit. And then Mario, I got this one shot of Mario walking, and he did the same thing. Like, he turned and looked at me, and he blinked. I was like, fuck that, dude. These things are getting too real.
Well, they've been doing that for years at Disneyland with Mickey. Mickey's been blinking his eyes for a long time.
The eye blinking, I understand, but I'm telling you, like, the mouth was it wasn't like someone moving, like, you know, you can usually tell when someone's doing that, like, because the mouth just does this. It was like making movements like that, and I was all, oh no, that's just creepy as fuck, dude. Like, I don't like that.
I don't think they have them talk. Well, that's not true. Some of the masks at Disney, some of the heads talk. Like, the mouth moves, but it's more of an up and down. It doesn't have the articulation. Like, the bad they blink. Like, Mickey does, Minnie does. And I think King Louie does at one of their shows. So, like, he blinks and does some stuff. So, it's weird. Yeah. I was unsettling when I first saw it, because they had him for Mickey at the Sensational Parade. He's up there playing the drums. There's a guy that's actually up there playing drums, like, on one of the parades, and he started blinking. And I looked at Josh and went, is Mickey blinking? What's going on here? What is this magic?
Get behind me, Satan! Get behind me!
That was creepy. Didn't like it.
And then, like, but Universal's, like, shut down a lot of stuff there. Like, I think they stopped the pet show, you know, the little pet thing they had there. I think they stopped doing that. There was, like, 2 other things they were talking about when we were there that were like, yeah, we're not going to have them anymore. They're going to put something else in there. And I was like, oh shit. Like, me and my wife, we let the kids go, and they stayed with their friends, and their friend's mom brought them home. So me and the wife just walked around for a while, and we were like just laughing to ourselves, because we've been going there for years. You know, it's like one of our spots. And I was just like, man, this place is totally different. Like, all I want to do now is get on the tram ride, go on Waterworld, and then get the hell out of there, dude. Like, I'm done after that.
They still have the Waterworld show.
If they take Waterworld, I'm burning that bitch down, dude. Okay,
I
dude.
remember the Conan show. They had the Conan
That
show.
was a cool show.
For forever.
Conan, A-Team, Miami Vice was there.
Conan, though, to Xena and Hercules when that show came out. And I was like, oh man.
Dude, my favorite one, the one I remember as a kid, was where the A-Team was. The van used to pop out of the wall, and you would hear the dun 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 dun. I remember being a kid, like, standing up, like, ah! Like,
I remember the Bates Motel, and the Cylons.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Cylons is going way back.
Yeah, the Cylons
from the
Battlestar
right?
Galactica.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
The Bates
By
Motel.
your command.
Bates is still there. They were filming some, I think, a Christmas horror movie when we were there, because we drove by, like, you know, the street that they go where it's all the city street, and it was all Christmassy out, but the ornament, like the decorations were really off, where I was like, what is this? This is either going to be like a dark comedy Christmas, or like, and then I started thinking, I'm like, what if it's Violent Night? And I wanted to jump off, because you know you can pull the string to make them stop. I was like, I'll pull this bitch and say, hey, dude, I dropped my phone down that aisle down there. Can you go get it, or can I go get it? Just poke around and see. I was like, dude, yeah, it was fun. When you guys come, I'll go with you guys, dude, because I got a season pass, so I'll definitely go.
Nice.
You drink your butter beer, I'll drink my Duff.
There you go.
Duff beer for me. Duff beer for you.
I'll have a Duff.
You'll have one too.
Duff Man! Oh yeah!
Duff Man never dies, only the guy who plays him.
And the thing that I always think is funny there, like I tell my wife every time we pass, because they got everything like with the Simpsons land, you know what I mean? And they got the comic guys, shop, but you can't go in there. I'm like, dude, they'd make a fucking killing if they open just put Simpsons comics, if anything, you know what I mean, inside there. Like, fuck, dude, like you'd make. I would buy one every time I go there. I'm like, I'm going to the comic guy shop and fucking get me a comic and shit.
The Android's Dungeon. Yeah.
I love that shit. I love it.
So how big is that world?
It's not big at all. Like I think what they're gonna this is what I think they're gonna do. They're testing it out with this one because it's only one ride, and it's probably as you guys have been there and saw the Simpson Land, right?
Yeah.
It's about that big. It's a little bit smaller. Harry Potter's way bigger. You know what I mean? Harry Potter goes way back, further. But it's a little bit smaller than the Simpsons, like enclosed. Because Simpsons is like big. It's like, it's wide. Right. This is like enclosed. So, but again, it's worth, if you love Nintendo, they didn't fail. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's nothing wrong with it in that. Like, I'm not a Nintendo junkie. Like the 3 kids I was with, my 2 kids and their best friend, are fucking Nintendo junkies. And like, if you see the video I put on Instagram of the one kid, my kid's best friend, he's just like, that was my favorite shot because he walked in, he was like, he had that look, and I was like, oh, I got it on film, dude. I got it all. Like, you know what I mean? So like, to them, it was like, they made it much more better for me. You know what I mean? Like, I had a better time being with them. But I was like, I kept going like, I don't know if I would pay a shit ton of money just to come in here for this. You know what I mean? Like, if this is what if that's what, like with Harry Potter, it made sense to me. Like for Harry Potter fans, like, because it is the world. Like, you are in there. As soon as you cross that fucking thing, there's snow there, and like every inch of it is done in a way that you can be like, oh, I'm transported there. This one feels like it for about 20 minutes, but then after a while, you kind of go, okay, there's the wall there. There's this and shit. Like Harry Potter, you literally feel like you're immersed in that world. So that's that. I think maybe that's what my problem was. I was comparing it to that too much. And even same thing with Star Wars Land. Like Star Wars Land, you walk in there and you're like, holy, you hear the fucking jets flying above, you know what I mean? Like the whole nine, like they went a step above. So this one kind of, I think they rushed it. That's what I think. But I think what they'll end up doing is shutting down the Transformers ride and turning that into something Nintendo because it's right next to it. So that's what I'm assuming.
That's cool.
And rumor has it it's going to be Link. It's going to be something to do with Link. So a Zelda thing.
Makes sense.
That'd be fun.
Oh yeah. What up, Havok?
What's going on, Havok?
What's going on?
Havok, I have to talk with you, buddy.
Yeah.
We got a big problem about Arizona.
The fuck out of here.
I'm telling you, look, we've been talking about Arizona for what, like 3 months, right?
Yeah.
We've been talking about Cocaine Bear for 5 months. And let me tell you,
fuck about that shitty movie.
I know you don't. Shut your pie hole, young man. That's the same day Cocaine Bear comes out.
Where's the popcorn?
We need to figure out how we're gonna do this.
Well, we could go see it the following week. No one's gonna go see that.
No. I want to see it the day. I want the day it comes out.
It ain't gonna happen.
Look, dude, if you guys don't want to go with me that day, dude, that's all I'm saying. You guys, sometime in Arizona, we might have to find a movie theater and fucking go sit and eat some cocaine. What the fuck, dude? I'm trying to bargain with you, dude. You know what I'm saying, dude?
I'm
JD, help me out,
alcohol
guys. Help me out,
and-
guys. Help me
and
out.
food.
Hey, if I was there, I'd go with you.
That's what I'm saying. See, dude, why you gotta be such
12-hour
a...
drive to go see Cocaine Bear with Fuzzy in Arizona?
More than 12 hours.
It ain't that bad. It ain't that bad.
14 hours,
We can
15
do it.
hours?
It's closer to 24.
Damn it.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
So we're still getting the theater for Cocaine Bear, right?
no, because it's the same weekend I'm going with these guys to Arizona. So that's what I'm saying. I
So
gotta
what
figure
you're
out.
saying is you're a liar.
I am. I'm saying that these guys,
You could
these
get
guys
the
won't
following
bargain
weekend.
with me. This following shit, you know.
Yeah. No one's gonna see that movie, so it's okay.
It doesn't matter if anyone else is going to see. See, you keep saying no one's going to see it. I am going to see it.
Yeah, watch it next the following weekend, and you'll be fine.
No, I won't.
What's the deal with Arizona? What day?
Comic
No. I mean, obviously, but I mean, like, does it? Because the Cocaine Bear will probably it's supposed to start on Saturday, but it'll start on Thursday night ahead of Friday. You know what I mean? So maybe there's a.
Well, that's what I was
There's
thinking.
some wiggle room.
Was Thursday night maybe going to see it?
Well, I already have tickets for Thursday, so.
I know James hit me up about it, so I might do that. But I'm gonna have to bring my family with me because I gotta show the boys what happens when you do cocaine. You know, they gotta learn that a bear might bite you in the dick. I'm just saying, dude, you gotta it's a learning lesson for everyone. Same reason why I showed my son the Fablemans. I'm gonna show him cocaine bears.
Can't wait for Arizona.
If we were closer, we'd come, but the turnaround
I
time
know.
that's a little rough.
Are you guys
you
gonna go to Cali Comic Con on Sunday?
That's not this Sunday.
Yeah, it's this Sunday.
It's this Sunday.
This Sunday?
Mm-hmm. The 5th.
Yeah, I'm going.
You have to go. It's a tradition.
This guy's yelling at me about going, but he don't want to help me out. Go see Cocaine Bear. That's a tradition.
Because
No, that ain't no
Booger sugar.
That's a
Booger
shitty
sugar.
fucking movie already. That's a B movie that I watch it on fucking when I'm sleeping. I'll put it in the background.
When did Steve become the snob of the group?
I know, dude. Like you
All right,
same man.
Steve.
As far as I know, like 2013.
I love you, Steve. Every group needs to have a bougie guy. You're it.
No,
I miss
he's
you
the
guys.
king of bougie.
When are you guys gonna be back over here?
I'm hoping that we're trying to make arrangements to maybe come out for WonderCon.
Oh, so we can have
And be
dinner.
out here for WonderCon and then stay like that couple of days out there, and then dovetail it with like a Scott reunion in Texas with his brother, like right in
Okay,
that area.
that's awesome.
Nice.
So I'm hoping that we'll work that out because WonderCon's like the last weekend of March, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so they wanted to get together the first part of April. So maybe we can come out that weekend for WonderCon, stay a day, and then do his family and then have to come home. It'll be a real quick thing.
So we could have dinner when you guys come down here.
Yeah. So I'm hoping we'll be able to do that. We have to like, double check with his like him getting time off and
Yeah.
whether it's paid and not paid.
New job means it's hard to get a lot of time off, but I'll figure out a way.
Yeah. So we're sitting down and really looking at the calendar because I'm gonna have to. It's gonna be February, so we're gonna have to figure that out. Plus
Friday, March 24th to Sunday, March 26th.
Have they even put tickets up for sale yet?
Yeah, they just did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that got my message about the professional badges. So
Yeah, they just did. They just announced it this week. I think it was last week.
So
this
IMDb
weekend.
still working for you on those, Fuzz?
Yep.
Dude, when are you gonna get us in a fucking movie, man?
I'm
Because-
working on it Friday. Friday's done.
Collection Connection's getting me into all the small cons at this point, but I cannot crack into WonderCon or San Diego yet.
I got a meeting on Friday with one of my this awesome dude named Xerxes is always my cinematographer, and then my second guy who always does we always have two units going. My second unit guy, Alex, he hit me up last week and was like, I got a project coming up and I think be worth doing. So if I can, it's probably gonna be low budget, but still, if I could get you guys in it, even if it's in a background scene, I'll just be like, here, go back there and be a dead body or something like that. And, we'll make sure the camera pans to you and shit.
We could be like we could be like the zombies in Go Go Gone that look like all different zombie films.
Dude, I did a
Collection
movie.
Connection zombie group.
he wrote a movie one time, and he goes, I need someone to fucking have an alien burst out of their chest and their mouth, and I just rose my hand up and was like, I'll fucking do it. Do I get lines? No, fuck it, dude. Let's do it. And so I was like the guy walking home, and the fucking alien, like gets him and shit like that. And so like they did this whole scene with the fucking the eggs on my face and shit like that. And you get a credit yeah, dude. That's what I'm saying. It's the fun part of it. And like,
when was it? It was a world. No, it was Killer Con. It was in Vegas. And this is when I used to work in book publishing, but they did like a whole thing on makeup for The Walking Dead. So like, was it Nicotero? What's his name?
Yeah, Greg Nicotero.
Yeah, he was there, and two of his assistants. One guy was there that I actually published one of his novellas for, but they needed a guy and a girl to do makeup, to be like the people that they could do the makeup for, to turn them into zombies from The Walking Dead, to show people how they do it and how long it takes and stuff like that. Well, the girl bailed. She bounced. And so Mike comes running in. He's like, Liz, I need you. I'm like, all right. And then he sat my ass down in the chair. Next thing I know, there's a pizza box being opened with all these like scabs and like oozy like wounds and stuff on me. And I was like, oh dear God, what have I gotten into? They're like pulling my hair back, and yeah, it was pretty cool. Like,
one of my favorite low budget zombie movies we did is called it's called like Z Nation War Z, something like that, something Z, like that was what it was called, right? And
I
so
saw Z Nation. It was
I know, but we took the marker that they had that on there, but it was X'd out, the nation part, so it was Z something. So they stole that marker from that show. But I remember they were like, they're all, Nick, you're gonna get you're one of those soldiers, you get bit, and then fucking we're gonna turn you into a zombie. I was like, fuck yeah, dude, like, all right, cool. So I'm doing it. Bridget Nielsen's in it, and she's about like 6 people ahead of me, and I'm fucking walking, and the fucking thing eats me and shit. And then so like you guys out here, you guys been to where the Renaissance Fair is held at, right?
Yeah.
That's where we filmed the whole fucking movie. So it's in those little like fake, buildings and shit like that, is one of the makeup rooms. So they put me in there, and the guy's like, well, we don't have, because normally when you're a zombie, they'll give you dentures. You know what I mean? Like little dentures you put in there to make your teeth look all fucked up.
Gross, yeah.
But what the poor man's trick is chocolate syrup.
Yeah.
So you give people chocolate syrup and you rub it all over their gums and it makes it look grainy. Well, we hadn't eaten all day. So I was eating all the chocolate off my fucking teeth. And you would just hear the guy go, his teeth are too white. Stop eating the chocolate, man. Give me something to eat, dude. I'm fucking hungry, man. And so then they go, the whole scene comes, everyone's running, and we're grabbing all the fucking, doing the like after people, right? So then they go, Nick, we're gonna give you a fucking headshot. I was like, oh fuck yeah, dude, this is gonna be awesome. So they, they're rigging the bullet hole, they're laying it there, and then up my back right here, they put it's like a CO2, like the little airsoft.
Yeah.
Yeah, like. So it's like connected there, and they just, they click the button and it just shoots out, right? So they got it rigged up. They got a close up on Fuzzy like this, dude, right? Like just like this. And they're like, all right, on the count of 3, okay? And I'm like, okay. Because I'm excited, dude. Like I'm about to get my head blown off in the movie. I'm just like this. And he's like, action. Oh, like I kept making stupid ass faces when I got shot. So everyone else, they did 3 takes. That was it. Me, it was about 10 takes. And finally the director got pissed off. He goes, God damn it, you're getting shot in the fucking head. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry. And I'm walking out and I'm doing the whole thing. And I'd be doing it great. And as soon as I'd feel it like hit, I'd be like, because it scared the shit out of me, dude. Like it felt like you got hit in the back of the head. So, just a long story short, if you want to see Fuzzy get his head blown off, you got to look at the deleted scenes. I was put on the cutting room floor.
But that sounds fun, though. It sounds like a pretty cool time.
Oh yeah, dude. Like it.
The makeup chair is fun. Like the guy next to me was like really being a puss about all of it, and he's just like, I can't breathe, because it's like they use like alcohol based like stuff now because they don't know to get things to stick and to stay, and like, and yeah, and so it was like the big packing peanut or the bubble wrap, but it was like the big bubbles. They like stuck it underneath it so that, and then they put like the wound over it, or like a boil over it, and then they like injected it with that like syrup to make. So when I would open my mouth, it would force like the air out to cause the thing to like ooze out my like. It was pretty cool how they like did a lot of that stuff. And I had this huge gaping wound on like my forehead and everything. I gotta see if I can find, because after they did all the makeup for it, they sent me back out there to like wear it for a couple of hours, and then they did some like there was a professional photographer there that took a bunch of pictures. I gotta see if I can find all those pictures.
You put it up on Facebook a number of times, so
have I? Okay, I'll have to like track them down again and see, because that was like years ago. It was like 10 years ago or something.
Oh, more than that. We're talking almost 2 decades.
But dude, it was a lot of fun. And then they're like, okay, we're gonna have to take it off. I'm like, really? They're all, yeah, it's gonna take just as long to get it off as it was to get it on, because they have to like make sure that it doesn't like peel off and get my face all gross and everything afterwards. But
these are the stuff I use now for the bootleg. If you want to make bootleg cuts and stuff like that, it's quick, it's easy. You know what I mean? It gives good bullet wounds. And then I still have a box of literally a box of latex, liquid latex that you could just make molds and stuff of people's faces. And then my cousin just went to the where we stored all the Halloween stuff when we had a Halloween store, and he called me up today and was like, he goes, dude, you know how much shit is in here? He's like, are you making a horror movie anytime soon? I was like, bring it to me, man. I'll take it, dude. Like, you never know when we might need some shit, dude. So I'll write something just to put us all in, and fucking we'll just go film the motherfucker, dude. Like, I'm telling you, I've been falling down the rabbit hole of learning about like Yosemite and like all the creepy shit that goes on out there, and like fucking in the woods, and I'm like, there's something there. Like there's something I can do there. Like I haven't figured out, because I don't want to do a Bigfoot movie. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want to ride a big, like I need someone to show me something like where it's like when I first heard about the black-eyed kids, that fucked me up. Like it fucked me up so bad that I came home and I had to write the story, because I had to get it out of my head, because I kept seeing these little fucking black-eyed kids coming after my ass, dude. Like that's how I work. Kids? Oh, dude, it's one of the scariest shit, dude. Oh, dude, me and the fat man are sitting there trimming weed, right? We're just cutting and trimming, and we would listen to AM radio, and it would be these call-in. These people would call in and tell fucking stories and shit. It's the best like radio. Like, you're high as shit, and you're fucking listening to these crazy people talk, and he's like, she's like, well, I was driving home one day, and it was snowing, and I see these 3 kids on the side of the road, and I pulled over to see if they needed help, and they had their heads down like this, and they were talking to me, and they said, she's like, are you guys okay? Do you need a ride? And she's like, can we get in? And she's like, I just got a weird feeling. And so I was like, well, I'll call someone to come pick you up, and I'll stay here with you, but no, you can't get in the car. And then out of nowhere, one of the kids was right by her driver's side door and was like, can we get a ride? Can we get a ride? And she's like, no, I'm just saying, are you guys okay? Do you need anything? And that's when the kid looks up and the eyes are pure black. The eyeballs are pure black, and she said,
and they needed an invitation to get into the car.
Exactly, and so she peeled off, and that was the end of the story. And so I took that story, and we did the guy. In fact, the guy Alex that I'm talking about going to meet on Friday, he shot it for me, and we shot it as a concept film about this idea of this girl who's coming home from work, and she's talking to our fiance on the phone, and he's ragging on her about, like not, always being in meetings, not coming home, blah, blah, blah. And fucking, she sees the black-eyed kids, and the same thing happens to her, but she gets away, and she calls her husband or fiance and tells him, and he's like, oh, shut up, dude. Like, it's just some kid, playing a trick on you. And then the doorbell rings, and he's like, okay, the pizza's here. Fucking, I'm going to, I'll see you when you get home. He hangs up the phone, She gets home. When she opens the door, the fiance is there with his guts all hanging out, and he's dead on the floor. And all three of the fucking black-eyed kids are standing above him, and they look up at the camera, and they're like, "He let us in." They jump at the camera, and we cut to black, and that was the end of the movie. And people just get. Yeah, everyone was like, "Hey, it's creepy, but how are you gonna make an hour and a half movie about it?" I was like, "I don't know, but where's the money? Give me the money to make the motherfucker."
I want the monster. So if you do a monster one, I'm gonna be the person in the woods that's like, pss, 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 "Here, kitty, kitty, kitty." Pss, pss, pss. That would be me. That's like me.
All right. Well, I'm telling you, I just need to find a monster. Like same thing when it came with the Filipino monster, the Aswang. When I read about that, I was like, this is the craziest shit I ever read. Like, there's no movies about this in America. I was like, fuck yeah, let's make that. You know what I mean? Like, there's a million Sasquatch movies. There's a million fucking werewolf movies.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
We'll get you a list of all of the cool cryptids out there because Josh and I
fuck yeah.
We're all about that shit, huh?
Give me, and no Jersey Devil. I mean, I want something that no one, like, something that's, like, so just, like, what? Like, no way this exists? Because that's where, like, think about it. Like, we were just talking about Cocaine Bear, right? And it's based loosely on a true story. And the looseness is like this fucking, you know what I mean? Like, there was a bear that ate cocaine. It did die, and that was it. You know what I mean? But someone took that and stretched it out into something, awesome. So that's what I'm saying. Like, even if it's something like that where people go, is this real? Be like, oh, yeah, it's based on true events.
Weird Tennessee. There's all kinds of weird shit in here. Anyway.
Yeah, even we make a fake documentary one, like a Blair Witch one and shit like that. Those are easy and cheap to make.
Cool. Well, how was your convention, Nate? Sorry.
The convention was cool. I had some new tools. I got this here. It is, but I like where Fuzzy was going, and I got my ghost story to tell you guys. And if you guys have anything spooky that's happened to you, not like a story you heard, but like a firsthand thing, I really like to talk about it. But I got this. What are you? K2 something or other. It was like $40. Plug this into your phone, and then you get 2 clip micro.
Lapel mics.
He's frozen.
I tested it at home, and when I was using them at the,
You got cut off, Nathan.
am I frozen?
Yeah, you're frozen. Okay,
frozen,
you're back.
You're back.
You were barely showing them, and then you got frozen.
All right, cool. All right, so you can use these to do like an interview with someone. It looks pretty cool, and you don't have the background sound, and you can still do it on your phone. So I picked those up for $40, and then my wife, yeah, it was pretty cool. And then my wife got me for Christmas this Ho-Ham, because when you think of name brands, you think of Ho-Ham. Gimbal.
Oh, nice, dude.
So yeah, it worked. I thought it was great. I need a little bit more work because you play video games, and I'm controlling the thing on it, and then when I'm trying to go down, I accidentally go up. When I try to go up, I accidentally go down. So there's like some jerks in my stuff, but it worked out really well. It's smooth. I got compliments on the video already for
the trick to fixing that, my man, is when you're there, just get pickup shots. So as you're walking by a table, shoot the comic book, shoot that, and then when you see a jerk, like if you're something like a jerk that you don't want to have in there, you can cut that part out, put that pickup in the middle, and then continue on with the video. So then it looks like it's just one straight shot, and you cut back and forth. It's almost like a stylish way.
That's kind of what I've always done with the videos. Is like, especially at conventions where like I go to a table that's got, let's say, Star Wars guys or whatever, and I'll start like I'll put my phone all the way up to like Darth Vader, and then I'll bring it back and then pan out, move it to the side and pan in on something, and just do that across a bunch of stuff, and it shows your eyes are moving, so it doesn't it keeps. I feel like it keeps captivation, but
Yeah.
this kind of worked out where I was walking through the artist alley, or not the artist alley, because there wasn't much of an artist
Guys,
alley.
how was the convention?
How much
It
was
was dope.
Honky
The
Tonk?
convention?
How much was it?
How much was Honky Tonk?
I didn't pay any money to see Honky Tonk. I just walked past them. The money I spent was for I don't care, dude. I don't care for wrestling, man.
That is the
Oh,
longest
Jesus.
reigning intercontinental champion
Come
of
on,
all time.
guy.
He's the Honky Tonk man. You know what I'm saying? He was the guy that he was the man that started breaking guitars on people's heads, dude. Like,
Put it
that's
this
the
way.
man.
The voice actor that from Storm Shadow from G.I. Joe was there, and I didn't go see him either.
Oh.
That's saying something if Nate won't go see the G.I. Joe guy.
Well, actually, I was going to go see the G.I. Joe guy, but when I was doing because I always get in there, and you guys have been with me at the cons. Like I get in there, I'm like, all right, I got to go work. I got to work, and I'll go and I'll shoot my shit, and then once I shoot my shit, then I'll go back, and I remember when I walked over there, I saw something cool, so I'll go and get my stuff after I do my shit shooting. So when I was going through the aisles and seeing all the people. Like Barney was there, the old lady who was Tinkerbell was there, dude from Iron Maiden was there, Ed Bagley Jr.
My friend got a signed pair of underwear from the guy from Iron Maiden.
There you go, Barry Bostwick. So there was some like the dudes from Fuzzy. You got to be. 80s classic 80s B movie Ski School. The two dudes from Ski School were there.
Which dudes? The black dude or the main guy?
The main guy and his buddy. You'll watch the video, dude. It's on the channel.
Dude,
you'll see them. But
I would have walked
around
up to him and started karaoke and dancing for him, dude. I love that fucking movie, dude. That's the shit.
as I'm going around the Keone is Keone something or other, the guy who plays Storm Shadow, he was kind of like, don't film me. He's kind of a dick. So I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna film you, and
Cumberland 16th.
you're not fucking signing it. But this Storm Shadow figure I brought, you're like, no, I'm done. Like, you can't. Like, the convention let me in to film this convention and put it on. Like, that's why I'm here. So,
man, you killed Fuzzy.
but it was cool. It was cool. I got a commission from Norm Ratmond, and I've had several from him, but he actually wanted to take it home and do it. So,
nice.
Yeah, for sure. So that's where I'm extra stoked. I'm gonna get Magic, Ileana Rasputin from Los Hombres X. So I think that'll be pretty cool.
Well, I just dropped about $45 on the whole Darkwing, the new Darkwing book that came out, but I bought like all the variants, and they had
Darkwing Duck.
Yep, they had four different blank covers, so I got all four of them. So that way I can take them every time I go. Now I can hand them a new blank and be like, all right, hook me up with this. And one's red, so I'm gonna be like, give me Mega Duck and shit.
Oh, good old Negaduck. I'm also going down a rabbit hole with. I finished within reason. Everything I want, and I'm happy stopping where I'm at for the most part. I got all the GI Joes, so I'm like, I do have a significant amount of vintage Star Wars toys. So I was like, you know what? There was this one booth there that I probably went back to like 6 times. As I'm going around, I could have done things. I could have went and tried to have Rakishi sit on my face or whatever. But I ended up going back to this booth, and he had all the Gen X toys. He had Thundercats, Transformers, G.I. Joes, Star Wars, Voltron, fucking you name it. but that's not it. He also had a ridiculous selection of them, and every one of those properties he had in his booth in 3 different forms. So he had Star Wars beaters in a box, $4. Grab beaters. You can do customizations, paint them, whatever. Then he had ones that were okay, but maybe missing something. Then he had the prime time ones. But even the prime time ones were priced to move, because as I'm going around, I'm always looking for that kind of stuff because that's the shit I'm into. And there's always there's always times where I'm going through these cons and I'm like, yeah, that looks cool. I'd like to have that, but I can get it cheaper on eBay. But this guy had first of all, he had like boxes. He had his Tupperwares for people that put shit in. Like, oh, you want to get some guys? They give you the thing, welcome, talking about the stuff, giving you history lessons. And his booth was fucking busy. And it was Pinner, but it was busy, and there's people outside waiting to go into it. I was like, fuck, dude, this is like what I would do if I had a booth. It was solid. And I ended up, getting a couple Joes and a couple of vintage Star Wars guys from him. And they weren't complete, so I'm gonna probably pick up some repro weapons for them because I'm planning on keeping them in my personal collection. But the paint apps are good, so I think it'll work out well. And I probably should have, like, I would make a lap through the con, snake through everything, and I would end up back there looking at fucking the shit I looked at the last time I snaked through and was there. So it was cool. It was. I was expecting it to be like Frank and Sons with one guy doing sketches or something, but it wasn't. It was legit. It was legit. It was way better than it was the time that I had went with Lego, and I actually regretted because I was going to cosplay for it, but I didn't do it because I was like, Juliet, my daughter, she didn't want to go with me. I'm gonna go by myself. Like, I'm not gonna fucking walk around by myself filming, looking like a G.I. Joe. I'll just leave it. And then when I got there and I saw people, I was like, fuck. I could be having more of an authentic con experience. So it was cool. It was cool. I totally underestimated it. It exceeded my expectations. I would say, and it actually got me thinking about this, that it would probably behoove them to have more than like 5 comic guys there, because it was like Rubenstein, Norm Ratman,
They're the
Jamie
same guys
Sullivan.
that are always there almost every year.
Norm wasn't there before.
Yeah, he's
Or at
been
least
there. Yeah,
He's been there, but he hasn't been there in like 8 years or something.
No.
But it was Rubenstein, Jamie Sullivan, and Norm. And I don't know. Norm wasn't there the last time I went. Last time I went, it was only Rubenstein.
I got to get another one from Norm. I got my first sketch I ever got at a con with you guys was from Norm Ratman. It's still one of my favorite sketches I ever got. Superman busting through a wall and shit.
That's a nice one. I've seen that one, yeah.
Yeah, and fucking it got jacked. I don't know what happened to it. So, like, I've told him the story like 3 times. Like, Norm, dude, you got to help me out, dude. Like, I'll pay for it. Like, I'm not asking for free and shit like that, but just can you give me that again? Like, I want something like that again where he's busting out the wall. You know what I mean? Like, it was dope. Like, I love that. I love that book. It was one of my favorite sketches.
Yeah, he was one of my, also, not one of my first, but he did a booster gold for me. That was the first one from him that I ever got a sketch from. It was pretty awesome.
That was at Long Beach, right?
Yeah.
Long Beach. I remember.
Yeah,
that was when we went and got the Carl sketches, right?
Yes, it was the first one that we all hanged out at Long Beach.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, that's the one that I got the booster gold little head sketch, nothing crazy, but it was awesome.
Oh, bad neighbor, buddy. Let me tell you, I had Havok over my house. I had Isaac over my house, dude. We had a full blown party, dude. I still got remnants of the fucking thing in there.
We had the kids.
We were betting on who was gonna win and stuff like that. The Rumble itself was like, yeah.
I mean, come on, bad neighbor. Really, freaking? Can you hear me, sucker? What's his name?
Booker T.
Booker T can barely walk. see the damn ring.
You guys all know who Booker T is, right, dude? Like, that's how old the guy is. Like, we all knew him as a child, dude. He came down to the ring. He was bow-legged.
He couldn't even walk.
You know that old man walk where you're just like, oh shit, I'm gonna saunter on over and shit, dude. He got in there, and I swear, even the announcers were like, he's not gonna do it, is he? And he did the fucking spin-a-rooney inside there too. Yes, fun times is right, Comic Cave. It was, and we did it, and everyone, all of us in the house went, oh, he just hurt his back. And then they just threw him out of the ring.
He lasted 30 seconds in the damn ring. He did his spin-a-rooney, awesome. And they tossed him. I was like, that was horrible.
You know what was crazy? Having seen the two, really quick, the two wrestlers that I did see yesterday was Rikishi and the Honky Tonk Man. The Rikishi still looked like he was young and in good shape. Yeah, he actually looked like he was in better shape. He looked like he was in better shape than he was when he was wrestling. But
the bloodline was awesome too.
Oh, okay, that was the best part.
Yeah, my kid hustled the shit out of Isaac, dude. So Isaac's winning in points. So the point, what happens is you have to, after you win, you got a certain amount of points. At the end of the night, I had all these prizes set up, some Lego sets, some pops, whatever. And it's mainly for the kids and shit.
For the kids.
Get so they could get something and go home with something like a party gift and shit, right? So Isaac's winning. He had like 50-something points. I don't know, something like that. And my kid walked up to him and said, "So what did he bet him that The Rock was going to come out or something like that?" Right?
Yeah, that The Rock was not going to come out, and then
going to come out.
And then Isaac said yes, and they got the Uzi, yeah, and Rikishi. So Rikishi, and then your kid, his next kid, he's on the sources, like he's on the phone doing research.
Yeah.
On
like
stuff.
He could do dissertations on wrestling. Like we all meet in the house, we make fun of my kid. I'll put my glasses on and shit, and I'll be like, "Really? What did your sources tell you today about the WWE? What's going on there, fella?" Like like that. He's like, "Shut up, Dad. I'm just telling you. This is what so and so said." I'm like, "Hey, they could be full of shit for all I know."
Yeah, he was and he wants some money he took money from you. And gave it to me because he owed me money.
Because I made him a bet, or no? Because I told him if he won, because he didn't want, I'm not going to give my kid he has all the shit that I was given, fucking they get it all the time. So he's like, I don't want any of that, and I'm like, well, I'll bet you $10. If you win, I'll give you $10. And he got one of Steve's Legos to give to one of his homies who's a Lego junkie, and I was like, you owe Steve money, man. So fucking talk to him, dude. I'm not paying for that shit. That's your Uncle Steve right there. And fucking just the end of the night, he won. He looked at me. He's like, PayPal.
Pay the man.
Steve. He's PayPal Steve. And I'm like, fuck you little shit.
That kid's a hustler.
Dude, no, you want to talk about hustling? Fuck that. On our way over to go to the Super Nintendo land, I call him John Cryer. Okay, that's what I call my kid, John Cryer, because he's like in 2.5 Men, the fucking John Cryer character, where he's like, they're at dinner, and all of a sudden he's like, oh, I forgot my fucking wallet. No joke, dude. We go get donuts in the morning on the way to Super Mario World. He walks out and he goes, oh, I forgot my wallet. And the donut store is right down the street from my house. I'm like, that's cool, buddy. The house is right there, dude. I'll go pick it up for you. Let's go. Get in the car. Drove his ass to go pick up his fucking wallet. He's a hustler, dude. I raised him right, dude. No, the women's Royal Rumble was just okay, dude. They pulled out Steve's girlfriend Rita won. That was okay.
Yeah,
so that was good. That was good. But as far as the match went, I was just like, yeah, it wasn't.
Overall, the Rumble was it was barely okay. It wasn't.
Yeah.
There was no surprises on the men's Rumble like usual. There's a big surprise there. There was nothing. There was literally no one showed up.
But there was backstabbing.
Yeah, that's all it was.
Sami Zayn took a steel chair and knocked Roman Reigns to the ground, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. The Rock, the Bloodline, every one of them has been shattered by a Canadian. God dang it.
That's the best part of the whole Royal Rumble. Awesome.
Yeah,
But
it was fun, dude. We had a fun. Like, when you guys are in town, if they have a wrestling event, dude, I'm gonna bring you guys everyone over. You come over, you get to see wrestling with Fuzzy. I promise you'll be a wrestling fan when you leave because we make it that much fun. Everyone's screaming at each other.
I haven't watched wrestling since, like I said, since the '80s with Glow, and like, like all
Liz,
those guys, you know,
the
the
kids'
closest thing
moms
was
are
a
there.
Cyndi
They
Lauper
don't,
video or something, you know.
the kids' moms are there. They don't even know anything about wrestling, but they're sitting there watching it with us, and they're
Like
having fun because
laughing.
because we're the ones like screaming and jumping around and stuff like that. And the moms are just like the kids' moms are like looking at it. Look at these nerds.
And even half of the kids that are there only come because they know Uncle loves fucking wrestling and they love to watch me lose my shit. Like they have no. We tell them, they go, "Who do you want to win?" And they go, "I'm gonna call him out when I see him." And they'll just pick a guy like that just looks cool. They're like, "Oh, that guy." I'm like, "Okay, cool. Put your name down." You know, like it's fun. Yeah, she is.
Did you ever go to a wrestling? One of the
Yeah, I went to one of the WrestleManias way back in the day. There was a big event that they had at the Anaheim Convention Center. My brother and I did that, and it was the Hulkster and Macho Man were in a cage match.
See, that's I want to be
nice.
there. Yeah, like
That's
that's
a
the one I
classic.
want to see, dude. Like,
Yeah, and of course the Macho Man was bleeding all over the place like a stuck pig. But like when they were coming out, we were sitting real close to the tunnel, and my brother reached out and touched Hulk Hogan on the shoulder, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And he turns around, and my brother's like, "What is this stuff?" His like hand is like covered in like some grease or lotion or something.
Oil.
Fezzi would literally just start going like this. Be like, you know what, dude? I'm sorry. This is the closest way, and it ain't gay because we ain't touching each other or looking at each other.
Oh.
Yeah, dude. I look at dude. Fuzzy was what had growing up. My dad 3 times fucked me with Hulk Hogan. 3 times. Once was for him fighting the rematch with the Ultimate Warrior. He got tickets for me, and then I did something stupid and I got grounded. So he took everyone else except me, and I was the only one that liked wrestling. It was like taking fucking people who didn't care. They're like, "Why are we at this event?" They didn't even appreciate it, my man. They didn't appreciate it. And then there was another event that they were doing out in LA at the Forum, and I was supposed to be there. And then again, I did something stupid because Fuzzy was stupid when he was a kid. You know, he did dumb things. And so I got in trouble a lot. But I never got to see Hogan. The only time I ever met Hogan, the first time I ever met him, was at and it was for 2 seconds. I couldn't get anything signed because I was at the Ozfest. And I'm walking through the grass like this, and this big ass dude just straight shoulder checked me, and I was like, "What the fuck was this?" And I look at him, he's all, "Sorry, brother." I was like, "Holy shit, that was Hulk Hogan!" And I was froze. I just stood there like that, like I didn't know what to do. And then I was like, oh.
Then you went and jacked off?
I was about to, but then they fucking, you know, I was on a date, so I figured she could do it for me. You know, I called her Hogan. She didn't care, so it was okay. You know, again, it made it not gay. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
it makes perfect sense.
Exactly. If you don't look at the person, if you can't look at them, then it's not. You know, you don't make eye contact. That's why we love doggy style so much. It's not cheating.
I just remember when the Ultimate Warrior came into Mile High Comics, and that was crazy because I didn't know who he was because he wasn't in all of his like get up. But that fucker was big. I was like, "You don't know who I am?" No.
He's scared. He had marbles lost, dude.
Yeah,
like I remember meeting him at Frankenstein's, and I was like, and he's talking to me, and I literally got scared. I was like, "Okay, can you just sign these really quick? I gotta go."
Those guys from Parts Unknown, man, they're crazy.
Oh yeah, I don't mess with people from Parts Unknown no more. I don't know where you from. I ain't doing it.
It was yeah, I used to be a big wrestling fan, but I think the last time I was ever watching anything was like during when Hulk Hogan was like in the NWO. Like that was like the last little bit of it.
That was a fun time. That one.
I got out of it right about the time when Sting came in. That was the transitory period for me. So
I remember watching it
look at this guy.
when Miss Elizabeth was like passed between Macho Man and Hulk like a cheap suit.
That was awesome. That was one of the best. Let me tell you, I was a little kid. I was at my grandma's house. I was screaming at the TV. I was like, Hogan stole it. Oh, my God. Like, I was losing my
It was
shit,
crazy,
dude.
though. Like, hearing her story kind of breaks my heart because as a kid, like, she was kind of like a princess, like wrestling royalty. And then she just became like Lex Luger's crack whore. Like, fucking brutal, man. That's like...
Hey, dude, like
The hat roll. Shoot, look at Sonny. Like, look.
Party favor, man.
Well, look, you look at that life, dude. Like I've said it before.
That's a
man,
hard
like,
life.
It is, and like me and my kids are always talking about it, and I say, I don't. As much as I love wrestling, like if my kids wanted to do wrestling, I'd be all about it. Like I'd be a happy dad, because I get to go to wrestling matches and stuff. But on the same note, I'm a dad. And I explained to him, I go, every time you hit the floor or someone hits you, that's like being hit by a car. Like, that's what they say. It's just like being in a football game being hit, but you don't have padding on or anything like that. So you take that into consideration. That's why these wrestlers don't have a longevity in, doing it. So the ones that do last a long time, it's almost amazing to see it, like Undertaker or even Hogan. If you saw him on Raw 30 when he came out, dude, like, they played his music, I'm all excited. I stand up. I felt like a little kid again. You hear the dun, 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 dun. You're all excited, dude. He's standing there, dude, and I swear he looked like Stan Lee the last time we saw him when he was signing. He was just standing there, and he said, "Let me tell you something, brother." And he went through the speech and everything. And then as soon as he was done, they fade to black, just probably because they did not want to show him walking off stage because he's just that, tore up, dude. So. I mean, that's what happens, man. Like that was part of the thing that turned me off of ever trying to be a wrestler. Like I always thought doing stunt doubling would be fun. You know what I mean? That's why I did it. And certain things, like I'd think, oh yeah, I'll do that. Like I'll fall to the ground. And just those couple things with padding and everything like that, you're just like, oh man, dude, no way. Like I couldn't do this you have to do this 3 times a week? Like fuck that, dude. That hurts. I'll be a manager. I'll be a manager all day, dude. I'll talk shit, but you ain't gonna get me to do no fucking backflip off the goddamn rope. You're crazy.
Fuzzy, talk about when you were stunt double. When the wall blew up. The wall that the fat man put up.
So Fuzzy was making a night. It's on YouTube somewhere. But the scene with me, the whole scene got cut with going through the wall because of this reason. So like I go, fat man, I need you to build me a wall, just drywall, all right, dude, no problem, dude. He fucking builds it, and the director's explaining this. So we have a camera on one side of the wall, right? On this side, here's the wall, and I'm on this side. And the guy's gonna fucking, grab me and just boom, do one of those throw me through, right? So I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be easy. I've gone through drywall, it doesn't hurt, dude, you know what I mean? And it actually will be kind of padding when I land, right? So Fat man builds a wall. We're sitting there. We're like, all right, you ready? All right. And so, there's a couple punches thrown, and he grabs Fuzzy, and then, I just leap, but we make it look like he's tossing me and shit. Well, when it go through like this, my man, Fat Man, because he built houses, built a wall, not a wall that you can break through. So there's a big
It's certified wall.
That's your goddamn right. So all you see is Fuzzy go. I go against the wall like clap. And I was like, oh, what the fuck was that? What was that? Everyone's laughing, dude. Like, you know what I mean? And Fat Man's like, why did you do that? I go, what do you mean why did I do that? I told you we have to go through it. He's like, oh, I thought you were going to go through this part, dude. Like, I had to... My bad, dude. And I'm like, we didn't have enough money for more drywall and shit like that, so the drywall was already fucked up. So Fuzzy got hurt for no reason, dude.
Hey, man, the Fat Man didn't do half-ass walls, bro.
Dude, no, he was legit.
Yeah.
Like when Fat Man built something, he built that shit, dude. Like that same movie, I did probably about like 15, 16 stunts. And there's one that's in the take. You could literally see me like my shoulder pop, like 'cause I did. The guy's standing up and he's shooting at us, right? And so my kung fu partner fucking tucks to the corner. He can't get to his gun, so I do one of those tuck and dives where you roll and you grab the gun and you throw it to the guy, and then I hit the wall with my gun. But when I did the tuck and roll, it just fucking landed right here. And so all you see in the scene is me go like that, and I just roll like that. I grab the gun, throw it up, and then he made me look cool as I come back up to the fucking corner, and there's just one take, and I have a tear out my eye right there. I was like, oh, it hurts. So after a while, Fuzzy just says, you know what, dude, there's a stunt double for a reason. So put the guy in there.
A couple of decades ago, a buddy of mine who wanted to do some filming, he did it's probably like a 4-hour flick on like a cybernetic Bigfoot. And I was a military commander tasked with tracking the beast down and like using it for military purposes. And I have a scene in it where, I'm basically like chewing on the scientist who can't seem to keep the beast in line. And then there's a scene where the scientist like has a mental breakdown and like blows me away. And so as part of the process, I'm doing the Ben Stiller thing. And then I go back against the wall, but I kind of like lost my footing because there's like plastic tarp all over the place to make it like
Stop
a
the
makeshift
blood.
lab. And so I kind of like lost my footing and I hit that wall hard. I think I gave myself like a mild concussion, but I like slid down with like blood all over. It looks like I'm in pain because I am.
He had a huge goose stain on the back of his head from when he fell up against the wall. It's like, what the hell did they do to you?
My favorite ones too is that you guys seen the movies where the guy gets shot and he flies back. So that's a rope, right? It's just what it is. It's a rope. It's a rope tied around you. So it's same thing when they pull you up in the thing. So I would hate it because they would rig you up. If you're on a professional set, you get. It looks like like swimming trunks, right? And it's a latch in there, and then they pull you, and it doesn't hurt as bad. On a low budget movie, we literally have a rope that you buy at Home Depot tied around you, and you have someone standing there, right? And so I'll send it to you guys in the text. There's this one shot, and you guys will cry. And there's this one kid who really wanted to be in the movie. And we're like, look, dude, we need someone to fuck. Cause I wasn't gonna do it. I was like, fuck that, dude. I'm the leader of the bad guys. I get to, die gruesomely. You get to die with a shotgun blast. So he's like, okay. And so it's me and this other guy, and we're supposed to count it down. We're counting down to 5, right? We're like 5, 4, and we just went like that. We just yanked his ass. All you see is his body fold like this. And when he flew back, he landed in all this mud, dude. He called me and said for 2 days he had mud up his ass. Like, that's how hard we pulled him. He just dragged across the fucking mud. And it's a great shot. Like, everyone's always like, damn, that looks dope. And I'm like, yeah, I heard that fucker too. And then there was the last one we did. I get my leg blown out, right? My bottom leg gets blown out, and I fall forward. And I was telling Isaac this. I said I gave him two or three takes, and I fucking was hitting the face first into the dirt. I got up, and I was spitting out there. I go, one more. That's all you fucking get, dude. So hurry the fuck up. Let's do this. And they tied a rope to my leg and just went like that. And I went, I'm like that. Got up, cut. I'm done. Fuck you guys. I just walked off. Yeah, I promise you, if I put my favorite thing about movies, right, is that the physical part, not the digital. I don't like the digital part, right? Because it's in camera. Like, if you get hurt in camera, it looks like it hurts. Like, there's no going around. You can't act that. So that's why sometimes, like, when we do fight scenes, that half the time you're swinging like this, I'm telling the guy, like, fucking hit me. Because if you hit it, that's when you see the dust come up. You put a little bit of baby powder on you, and you hit it, and it comes up. Well, sometimes, there's the same one the wall happened, that movie. There's a scene where this dude's got to come around the corner and fucking sock me, right? And so I told him, I'm like, you got to get close, dude. So like we did, rehearsed it, boom, boom, over and over again. Like, all right, And I'm coming around the corner. I got the gun. I'm like looking like this, and then fucking right when I turned my head, this motherfucker just went, dude. I mean, just like he's supposed to go this way, but I don't know what happened. He just got me dead square right there in the nose, in the mouth, and it flew backwards like that. I mean, he's this little frail dude. And he got me so good. I look like Mike Dent of Rocky or Mike Tyson. And they uppercut the guy, and the guy goes flying back. It fucking got me so good. I had to leave the building and walk around 3 times. So I was like, I'm gonna punch this dude so hard when I see him, dude. Like I'm gonna knock him out. And finally, I walked up to him like, just say you're sorry. He's like, I am. I'm sorry. I'm like, all right, cool. And I just shook his hand. And I went, let's go. Let's just keep going and shit like that. But I was gonna knock the fuck out of that little kid, dude. Oh, fuck.
Dude, Fuzz, you got to get a red vest.
I know. I prefer to be the guy that dies. Like if someone hands me a script, I'm that's part of the reason why I always play the bad guys, because they die. They always die at the end. You know what I mean? Like
I'm just getting you ready to do the dance for the Vikram show. Because he's dancing in this red vest.
Dude,
and
that's his shirt.
You fucking look like that guy so much.
It's crazy.
It's fucking it's crazy, dude. Like, if you could go to like Bombay Comic-Con and cosplay as fucking Vikram, dude, you could fucking.
In America, I'm Joe Rogan, and there I'm Vikram. Dude, you know what I'm saying? Either way, dude, I'm looking good, dude. I could get away with doing dirty shit out there and just blame them. Be like, I don't know, it was them, dude. Shit, shave this off, and that'd be good.
It was very difficult. Not difficult. It was really, the movie's amazing, but it was like
I want to watch it. No,
when he starts showing up in it, I'm like, oh god, this is fuzzy. This is fuzzy. It's like one of those things where it's like it takes me out of it for a second, but then like I'm like, okay, no.
I had the Royal Rumble thing that has Super Mario World. So when I got home today, I was like, all right, I'll watch it this morning. So I woke up and then I forgot that's why I texted you guys yesterday. I was like, fuck, I had to go to the dentist. So I had to get a filling in. So the lady was numbing me up, dude. And by the time I got home, it was already like, that's when I texted you guys, like, I ain't going to be able to watch it, dude. Like by the time I get, home and get done with everything, but I will watch it this week. I promise you.
This is definitely a fuzzy movie for sure. It's way better
the last
than the
one
first
was.
one. It's way better than the first one. It's
the last one was.
It's
man. Ow. Oh god damn. It just went down in Chinatown. Look at that, dude. She just suckered. Hit his titty hard, dude. God damn.
Huge bruise on my leg, and he's rubbing my leg, and he gets to the bruise, and he pushes it like.
He's letting you know you're alive. That's all.
I can't see it because of the glasses.
Oh my
Everything's
God.
red.
All right, that's a good transition. Let's do it. True ghost stories. All right.
Did you find anything in the book?
Well, this is just for Tennessee, but we've got this weird wild cat thing that like eats babies off of porches.
Is that like cryptozoology or whatever?
Kind of. It's called the Wampus cat. But
I heard about cattywampus before, but I never heard about a wampus cat.
But back in the day,
I like the concept.
People would put their like babies, like out when it would be hot out on the porch and stuff. Well, the Wampus cat would just come up, take your baby, and eat it. But there was that one that's kind of different. But apparently they've had sightings just down the street from where we live, and I was like, all right, I can deal with that. And then
don't put no babies out there.
We have a killer primate looking thing.
There you
that
go.
Rips dogs in half and eats them.
Yeah.
We have our typical, Bigfoot, things like that.
I keep leaning towards Chupacabra, but I think when you just say the name, people laugh. You know what I mean? It's just the name is just fun to say, Chupacabra. So it's like it sounds.
There's one.
Like
they're
Beavis.
Not scary, but there's a huge in this one county. Oh, a couple counties over. There's a huge group of just albino squirrels. Supposedly some gypsies back in like the 1800s
They put a curse on them.
like, gifts or something, and like
I
left them
curse you.
behind.
White.
And I can see. I'm just giving you gypsies, 1800s, albino squirrels. Fuzzy, I know you could do something with that because, like, if they have signs on the side of the road that they're so prevalent that, like, you could like just run it over.
Relax, Carl.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I know you could do something with that.
We can't make a serious scary movie out of that. Like I could make a comedy about that, like about the truth about what happened and shit like that. That would be funny. Albino squirrels. That's awesome.
Cruella DeVille leaves. She quits using Dalmatians and she goes after squirrels to make her coats instead.
That's how white it is where they live. Even the squirrels are albino.
Yeah. Exactly. And
So,
then they don't breed with other like regular.
Damn, they don't crossbreed either. Shit.
Albino squirrels.
anytime another squirrel tries to come in there, like crazy squirrels coming in here from California, stealing our jobs.
Trying to take our women.
They took their germs.
He takes out the two front teeth. Let me tell you about what I used to do this back in the day.
I turned the page and I saw that. I was like, I could see this being a Fuzzy movie. Like I could see
that's
something.
a Lego. That's a Lego comic book right there. I'll write the motherfucker. Tell Lego to draw that shit, dude. It'd be cheaper and easier, dude. Boom. We can sell the hell out of that.
Paragraphs in this book, this weird Tennessee book. I'll just take a picture of it so you can have an idea of what it's all about, and then you can just run with it.
Hell yeah, no, dude. I love. That's what I'm saying. Like I need something like that's like. I'm telling you, like I've had all the ideas I've been having. I think have been done before, so that's why I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. No, I don't want to do that. Like I want something that's like. Where I'm like, oh, what the hell, dude? Like that's real. And then you ask that. My trick is always to ask people. So like whenever I ask you guys, like I don't know if you guys remember me telling you about like the narco bank robbery, and I was telling you guys, you're like, what the hell are you talking about? And when no one knew what I was talking about, it excited me because I'm like, oh, okay, so now it's something. Because now you know it's a true story. It's something crazy that happened that no one knows about, so people will want to see this. You know what I mean? Like that you just sell it on that. I'm doing what Disney does and all the other movie companies do, where they put like a title out there and everyone's like, "What the fuck is that?" That's what I'm always coming up with. That's how Friday the 13th got made. So I'm like, if they did it, I could do it.
Yeah, see, there you go. The little squirrels. Freeloading squirrels.
So when I was I worked for Ruby's Diner. And the one I worked at was on PCH in Laguna Beach over there, the one with the classic cars out front of it.
Oh, yeah.
The one that has like the patio on the roof that you can see the ocean from.
Been there.
So I worked there for 7 months, and I think I was 4 months into it when I saw that they were having financial troubles and having a hard time paying the grocery bill and whatnot. And then one of my bonus checks like bounced. So I'm like, I got to get out of here. You know, but I kind of felt bad because I hadn't been working there for long, and everybody was kind of nice, and it just had a good like a classic vibe to it. So I was like, I don't know, So I kind of prayed about it and asked for a sign if I should be there or not. And I've got my red bowler shirt on and my khaki pants, and I'm driving home from work. So I would go north on PCH and then turn right and take the 133 through the canyon, and then take the 5 back up through there. So as I'm going through the canyon, it's just it oscillates between a single lane and a double lane road. And as I'm going along this turn, I'm turning right, and ahead of me I could see a woman in white right almost touching where she was going to be, almost in the street. So where I would have to swerve inward to not hit her. And she was like looking at me without blinking. Now you're driving and you don't think you can tell if people are gonna blink or not. You don't think you see somebody on the road long enough to pay attention to if they're blinking or not. But for some reason, on this dark road, on this dark, windy road at midnight, I'm riding and I'm looking at her, and my thoughts are, her face is still and she isn't blinking. And I'm like, fuck, I wonder if she got hit or she's dazed or something. So I drove past her and I stopped and I looked in the rear view and there's nobody there. And I was like, ah! and I bailed the fuck out of it. I was just like, oh my God. I just kept, I'm looking around the car, waiting for her to like materialize in the car with me or some shit. And fucking like, I get home and I like parked the car and ran in the house. And I was just like, fuck. Like, and then ever since then, like whenever I drive through that canyon, man, that fucking hairs stand up on my arms because, woo, God,
I want to see something like that. Like that's my problem. I still haven't seen nothing like that. Everyone tells me where it's at, and I'm like, let's go. I tell my kids we watch Ghost Adventures. I go, that's down the street. Let's go. No. Fuck you guys, dude. I don't want to go by. I just want someone there, so if something does happen to me, I have a witness. You know what I mean? I just that's all I'm saying. I just want someone there, but no one wants to go with me. Steve's a bitch, dude. He never wants to go whenever I go places with him. All right, you cool? Because every time I go with Steve to Vegas, hey, dude, let's do the Ghost Adventure. Are you doing that?
Josh
Are
and
you
I
doing that?
We did it in San Diego.
You did?
I didn't know you want to go on Ghost Adventures. We would have taken you.
yeah.
We've gone like 3 different times on those ghost tours.
Fuck, dude. All I want is to see it. That's it. That's it. I just want to see something. Like I want to be standing there and just, fucking like as I'm standing there, something float by me or something like that. Be like, I won't even make
about Disneyland.
I won't even make a deal out of it. I'll just go like this. I'll be like, all right, cool. Good looking out, dude. All right, you'll see you later. Just walk over.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't want the one that's like, I'm going to eat your soul. I'll be like, oh fuck no, let's get out of here. That's all I'm worried about. Like I kept going like before they made the new Ghostbusters, I kept saying that would be the dopest like modern version of like the Ghostbusters. It's like a guy that hunts down, ghosts, but he sets it up like fake. You know what I mean? And then fucking actually goes into a demonic house and he's like, everything they do is just wrong and it makes it even worse. And he's like, oh fuck. He's like, how are we gonna get out of here? Like there's comedy there, but I just, again, I think it's been done a bunch of times. So, but that's how I would.
Like they did on Friday Night with the Vampire Hunter.
Yeah, exactly. Like that. Like I've always loved. I like horror movies like that where it's, especially when there's like a badass and then he ends up becoming a bitch by the end of it. But the one that was a bitch in the beginning is now the badass. Like I love that shit, dude. Oh, dude, fuck
dude,
yeah!
That's so fucking good. Oh my god, they flipped the script on that movie so well.
The best opening, one of the best openings in a horror movie is Feast, because like the way they do it is, they're showing all the characters in the bar and they cut to like the bartender, right? And it's like bartender, fucking 68 years old, most likely to die fourth, and like it'll go to someone else and it cuts to so and so, and it's all your typical stereotypes, right? And then all of a sudden this fucking door bursts open. And in comes, I forget, it's like at the time he was a big actor and shit. And he comes in with a shotgun, he like racks it. And he's like, all right, we need to board up the windows and lock all the doors. And he throws the
I'm here to save your asses.
Yeah, he throws the head of the monster on the fucking table. And then they're like, and it's like hero, most likely to survive throughout the whole movie. And then he goes to the window, he's yelling, barking orders at everyone. As he goes to the window, the fucking monster comes in and just eats his ass, dude, like real quick. And then all of a sudden the camera freezes and goes, now we don't know what's going to happen. And then fucking all anarchy breaks loose and shit like that. The monsters throw up fucking on you and they land and maggots and shit come out your face. Nasty, dude. I love Feast, dude.
Feast was good. The sequels kind of went off the deep end.
Feast 2. Okay, they're in the town. Fucking this dude's a dickhead through the whole movie, right? This is one of my favorite. I kept going like, this movie has balls, because the one thing you don't show in movies, baby's dying. They could die off screen, okay? But you never show a baby like getting shot. You never show like that's rule number one in screenwriting, filmmaking, all of it. That's rule number one. Feast 2 went like this to that fucking rule. There's a scene where this dude's trying to redeem himself, right? He's the asshole and he's running. He hears a baby crying and the monsters are all out there and he's fucking running. It's that slow motion scene, you know, and the monsters are behind him. He gets in there, he gets the baby. He's got the baby in his hands and it's a shot of him looking at the baby, you know, first a POV of him looking at it and the baby's smiling at him like, oh, you're a hero. And he's got the baby and he's running. The monsters are getting closer. And then you see the baby's face kind of change a little bit, like, what the fuck? And then he looks at the baby and just shrugs his shoulders like this and goes, boom, and just throws the baby in the air and just keeps running, dude. And the camera stays on the baby as the baby goes all the way down to the bottom and goes, splat. And the fucking monsters eat him. That's in the movie.
Yeah, Feast 3 was horrible.
Gnarly.
You liked Feast 3?
No, I didn't. I only liked Feast 2 because of that scene. Like that was again. There's Fuzzy has check marks, and that had a scene that I will never forget. Like when you said Feast 2 right now, that's the first thing that popped in my head. I was like, oh, yep, that fucked me up.
So Isaac, tell me about your ghost hunt.
Well, it's a ghost tour in San Diego that they do in downtown old San Diego, and they just take you around and give you ghost stories of the town and all the corrupt shit that goes on down there, and how the town was built on the fucking old cemetery. So old downtown San Diego's, if you look down, you'll see little markers, little round markers, and those are all graves that the town was built over. They take you to the park that's next to a school. That's a bunch of old ass fucking cemetery too. That whole town is just fucking wild. The wild, wild west.
Some
That's
fucking
dope.
poltergeist shit, huh?
Yeah, it is like poltergeist.
That's dope.
Definitely like that. But the whole town's like that. And then they talk about the Whaley House, where used to be the old general store and where they would hang people. That shit's cool.
Go get yourself some cereal and watch a dude get hung, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a town right there.
What are you doing? What are you doing? You go listen to the radio? No, I'm gonna watch a man get hung today, Pa.
It's
All
at
right, people before
3:30.
dark. Josh has a monster story.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Yeah, she was
What is-
hot.
Oh, poltergeist. Hell yeah.
Joe Beth Williams autograph. That was after we
With
watched.
a piece of her shirt.
All right, hold on.
Okay,
Before
for
you
sure.
tell the monster story, let me go grab something to drink real quick. Give me 2 seconds.
Sure.
I've heard ghosts, but
Now,
I've
now
never
start your
like,
monster story right now.
actually seen
Then.
them.
Let's go.
I can hear you, bitch.
You hear Josh tell the monster story then, you weirdo.
Yeah, but I want to see his face. I like to watch you guys tell his story, dude. You see?
What are you talking about? His face never changes.
Oh yeah,
He's
I
like
can see.
fucking, like Russian here.
I can see the gleam underneath them glasses of his. Bam! I'm back.
All right.
Just like herpes, I'm back, baby.
So let me set the backdrop. This is probably the summer of 1990 or 91. My dad my dad had just moved up to Rancho Santa Margarita, and at that time it was a really, really new community, so there was hardly anything out there. There was some stuff like back in, like, if you take Santa Margarita Parkway all the way up to where it dead ends, there was a shopping center up there and some homes and stuff, but the tract of houses that my dad purchased a house in was like a new development. And so when he moved in, there were hardly any neighbors, lots of empty homes and stuff. And my brother and I, my dad had partial custody, so we would go see him every other weekend. And so we became friends with some of the kids that were moving into the neighborhood and stuff, and go on bike rides all day. Things that you would do during the summer back in those times, instead of holding yourself up in the basement and playing Skyrim for 36 hours.
That's adult stuff.
Yeah, back then you'd ride from like the morning until the street lights came on, and that was the deal. So we came up one weekend, and our neighbor kids were all excited because they were convinced that there was like a Bigfoot in the area. And, you know, I was kind of like into like unexplained mystery stuff. And so I was like, oh, you know, you should take us to where it's at. So one of them lived in a gated community, and the gated community was also very new. So there were still like wooded areas that were kind of wrapped in and out of the little streets with the houses on it and stuff. And like the backyards would have these fences where it's like a white metal fence, you know, with the top bar and then the vertical bars, but like the ends would be these big blocks of bricks, like a big square. And so then the fences would come into it, and this would form like the whole row of houses and stuff. And they said, oh yeah, you know, the you know, we sometimes would see it because they would go out at night, you know, and run around in the woods and get into trouble. And they had a thing where they would like to throw rocks at cars that would pass by and freak people out. But anyway, so we went over there to spend the night at one of these guys' house, and we're like, oh, let's go out, you know, we'll sneak out after the parents go to bed, and we'll run around in the woods, and we'll see if we can find anything. And so, but of course, as the night is coming, you know, we're getting ready to go out, you know, we're talking about it, and like, oh, tell us when you saw it. And they said, oh, you know, one of the nights they were out and they saw something, and they thought it was a dog. It was like near one of those drains that, you know, on the curb where it goes in, so the rainwater can go down the sewer. Anyway, they thought they saw like a dog down there, and when they got close to it, the thing stood up on two legs and was really tall, and they freaked out. So I thought, oh, that's pretty cool. Let's go out and see if we can find something.
Let's go find it.
But as we're talking about it, you know, we're getting kind of anxious. We're getting a little fucking bold, but you know, there's like that element of like, kind of like, well, what if we run into something? You know, I don't want to get clawed in the face or so. So our friends, they play hockey, so we start putting on hockey gear, hockey players. And so we're like wearing all this gear. And,
it's already starting like every 80s fucking horror movie.
Yeah,
like kick ass. So I love it, dude.
We get like you know, baseball bats and the hockey gear, and then we sneak out and we head out into the little wooded areas, and we're out there for a couple of hours looking around and just sitting and talking. And you know, it's kind of a cool summer evening. It wasn't blazing hot or anything like that, and it's getting late. It's probably like close to midnight or whatever, and we're like, there's nothing going on. Let's head back to the house. So we leave like one wooded area, and we're coming down the street, and our buddy that we were staying the night at, his house is on the corner, and then behind his house is like this wooded area. So there's like a street, and there's a row of houses, but his is on the end, and then the wooded area is right behind it and kind of runs down. And on the far side of the woods is like one of the main streets. So there's like street lights way back there. So you can kind of see the light coming through the woods. And there's a breeze, so the trees are kind of blowing back and forth. And we're walking down the street, and it's real quiet. And somebody, I don't remember if it was my brother or one of the other guys, but somebody says, hey, I don't hear crickets or anything anymore. It's just like the sound of the wind blowing in the trees. And so then next thing you know, like everybody's like a little bit closer, a little bit closer. By the time we get like halfway down the hill that we're still heading to the house, like we formed like a miniature circle. Everybody's like back to back, and we're like walking down. Everybody's got their bats up and everything, you know, crazy stuff. And we're like looking around, and it's super quiet except for like this like light breeze, like I said. And we get down, and we're just about there. You know, we get to the point where we're coming up to the corner brick post that forms the end for the fencing for my buddy's backyard. And we're in the middle of the street because there's like no traffic. And I kind of glance over to the backside of my buddy's house. And, you know, the woods are there, and you can kind of see the light from that distant road like filtering in. And it looks like there's something leaning on the brick post, and I'm like squinting in the dark, like trying to like, you know, crane my neck and like look, and I think I can see it like moving, like it's breathing, you know, up and down and up and down. And I'm looking and I'm like squinting with the wind, and I'm like looking, and I'm like, there it is! And everybody's like, oh! And we break out into a full-blown run as fast as our feet could take us. And in those days, I was like the wind. So I got to the front door of that house so fast, and everybody's like trailing behind me. I'm like, I just got to get here before the last guy, you know? and we all come like flying in there, and we shut the door and lock it, and the parents come down like, what's all this racket? We're like, oh.
You're all in your hockey
Yeah,
kits.
we're all because we're running around outside at midnight, and we're like freaking out, like panting and sweating. And, you know, we pull all the blinds down when we get in my buddy's room, like, ah. And then, you know, we take the gear off and we fall asleep with the lights on and the bats side by side and everything. And we wake up the next morning. Well, it's probably like mid-morning, like 10 or 11 in the morning, and we're like, man, what a bunch of crap that was, you know. Oh, Josh got scared for no reason, made us all panic, and I'm like, well, what's worse, the guy who thinks he saw something and freaked out, or the people that freaked out because somebody else said they saw something, right? Because nobody else, everybody else.
Yeah, who's more foolish, the fool or the fools who follow him?
So right. But what we did was that morning after we all had our Lucky Charms or whatever, we go back outside, and I wanted to check that post. Well, the builders of the community, they designed it so that, you know, the sidewalks are lined with like these plants that like kind of bloom out. And there were some by the corner of the post. Well, the one
Oh
No,
man, come on,
dude, this is the worst time to have the
Sorry.
community internet.
Sorry.
So the post,
the post was there. The post was there. The plants were there, and the big plant that was next to the post had been smashed flat. So normally it's like a kind of semi-spherical plant, right?
So
Because it
some
grows
shit
up
was
and
standing
down.
on the plant.
Something had pressed it down. Now I'm not, you know.
Someone
I'm
used
not
a presser.
I'm not an expert on plants, and I'm not good at trail sign or tracking or nothing. So I couldn't tell you how long it had been like that. It's not like I was paying attention the day before. But in my mind at the time, I was like, see, motherfucker, there was something there. So
that is a movie. That is but you got, you know, we'd have to stretch it out.
Something is
and
killing the
like
plants.
Well, okay. So I've never seen a ghost or anything like that, but now that we're talking about monsters and stuff, I'll tell you. So I still don't know what I saw, but I know that it was something, or I don't know if it was a dream that came true or what, I don't know. But my dad, when after my mom died years ago, like, you know, when I was a kid, my dad would always just try to bring friends over for me to, you know, stay the night. So he'd always invite, like, tell your friends if they want to spend the night, they can spend the night, and the next day I'll take you guys, you know, to the movies or whatever, you know, whatever you guys want to do. So I was like, all right. So my friend came over, and he had, remember, indoor Nerf golf? It was like a little circle, you know, and a little thing. So we had it, but we thought, you know, we don't want to play in the house. We want to play outside because we had this balcony, you know, and it had stairs and shit. So we set up the whole thing, you know, like a miniature golf course throughout the backyard and stuff. And my dad's like, oh, you guys got to wait till tomorrow to do it. Like, fuck that, you know, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, God damn it. And so, you know, we go into my room. My buddy had a bed on the floor, and I had a bed up here. And to this side was a big, huge sliding window, okay? And then where the stairs were that went up, there's a big tree right there, and then there's like a fence over here that goes to the golf course and the little gazebo. So I'd always look out the window at night and shit, and that's how I fell asleep. So we're sitting there, and I'm looking out the window, and in the tree just like you were saying, when you said that, it's what triggered it in my head. I was like, oh yeah, I remember that story. But again, I don't know. Again, I swear I was asleep and I saw this in my dream. My friend said he saw it too, but something stood up. Like something stood up on two legs in the tree. And I went, what the fuck? And then it jumped to the ground and then jumped over the fence. And I was like, what the fuck? And so, like, I'm screaming. My dad comes down and he says we're fucking crazy and shit like that. We go outside the next morning and all the little flags were bitten in half. Not broken, bitten. Like if someone went like that, like to it, like just crushed in half. Scared the fuck out of us. We all believed it, right? But then again, we don't know what's happening. So for years, we would say the mountains by my house was called the Werewolf Training Center because it was just there would be these weird things, and so they're building houses like mansions up there. The guy who did all the artwork for the Disney Castle, when you go into Cinderella's castle, all that artwork, he has a mansion up here, and the whole house is designed like that castle. So there's a drawbridge and everything like that. So like for Halloween, we would always go up there, but if you wanted to make out with your chick and stuff, that's where you went because it had this badass view and stuff. In fact, that's where my wife said she fell in love with me. So I took her up there and started dancing with her and shit like that in the street and stuff. So another story for another day. But so we're up there. Exactly. Dude, we were doing some street fucking getting down, dude. You know what I'm saying? And so we would go, and so you would go out, and there was a cul-de-sac of houses that were going to be built. And then down the hill was this house, like right there, no fence, and his garage was there. And this guy was like like one of those old school mechanic guys that had like a refrigerator filled with beer, and he would just be outside working on his car during the day, and at night, like like maybe around 8 o'clock, he'd go in, but he'd always leave his garage door open. So we would go down there and fucking raid his fucking fridge and jack all his beers and shit, and go running up the hill and fucking party. You know what I mean? So one day we're up there, and I guess he caught on to us, and he called the cops on us. So we're up there fucking pounding beers. Cops come. What does everyone do when the cops come? They fucking scatter like cockroaches, right? So my buddy goes this way, the other guy goes this way. I just say fuck it, and I down my beer and I throw it down and go see the cop because see, I'm like, I'm already busted. I'm a lazy criminal. I ain't running. So fucking I go up to the guy and he tells us, you guys, and I'm like, we weren't doing anything. I saw those guys that ran off over there were drinking beers though, but I didn't do anything like that. And my friend's like, you're a dick. I'm like, hey, I didn't tell him the name. I just said those guys did it. I don't know what's going on. So we get into the car. We drive down, and it's a windy ass road like this down.
You and the cop?
No, me and my buddy. He lets us go. So we get in the car, and we drive off, and we're going down the hill, and fucking we see our buddy like walking along the side of the fucking road. And so we keep picking him up. Hey, dude, fucking get in here. The cops are going to be looking for you. We said you guys took the beer, blah, blah, blah. And then we look at his face, dude, and he is cut up. Talking scratches, dog, all along his face like this. And he's, like bleeding and shit. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck, dude? Like, what'd you do? And he's like, I don't know, man. I'm like, did you fall? And he's like, I don't know, man. Come on, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. And I'm like, all right. And we get him in the car. We drive him. When we keep asking him, he just keeps saying the same thing over and over. We drop him off. Next morning, he fucking calls me. This is before cell phones, it's like he pages me, and I fucking call him back. And I go, what's up, dude? How you doing? He goes, what happened last night? I go, what do you mean what happened? I was calling you to tell me what the fuck happened. Like, your face got fucked up. He's like, to this day, he still thinks that one of us did that to him. And I'm like, dude, we picked you up on the side of the road. Like, we have no idea what happened to your ass. So, again, that's why we call it the Werewolf Training Center. So, I don't know if this fool got bitten or scratched, but he had a legit, like, it was like that, dude. Like, all down his face. It was scary as shit. But
he thinks you guys did something to him?
Yeah. Because we still talk. Like, me and him are still homies and stuff, and he'll bring it up every once in a while. But I remember the time when you guys fucking tricked me. I go, dude, we did not fucking trick you. I'm telling you, you took the fuck off, dude. And, like, you don't know how many times, like, when cops would come, fucking people disperse. Like, no one I'm, like, the only one that sits there. Like, I will always just sit there. I'm like, I ain't running, dude. Like, there's no reason to run. I haven't done nothing wrong. Like, I ain't tripping. So, but Yeah, that was one of the craziest stories. Like, but I've never seen like a ghost or anything like that. It's always been like you were saying, like something, but it's not like a ghost. Like I want to see a ghost. Like I want to see some supernatural shit, dude. Like I believe that there's cryptids and shit out there. Like there has to be. We aren't the only ones here. There's dinosaur bones, for Christ's sake. I mean, you know.
We've seen some UFOs.
Yeah, but nothing close enough to call it like official. It's like always in the distance, and you're like, "What the is that?" And then it goes away. It's not like we saw one like land or something.
Yeah.
No, and I'm with you on that. That's what I mean too. Like I've seen weird things, and I've seen that, but I don't say like, "Oh yeah, I've seen this." Like just like I was saying about that story. Like again, I don't know if it was a dream but he swears he saw it too. So I was like, well, we both can't dream the same thing and shit like that. But again, like I was so young and fucking, so many bong rips and shit, you know, shit kind of melds together.
Next time we get together with my brother, we'll have to ask him what he remembers about it and see if it comes out close to what I remember. Because I remember seeing something, but I don't know if something was actually there. I just remember like where it was standing and what its outline looked like in the darkness, and I was like, if I had to like take a shit, man, I would have shit myself.
What about you, Isaac? Anything scary happen like that?
Just like things moving, falling type of shit, noises at the house. Like at my parents' house, they say that a little kid died there many years ago before they moved in, and that some family members will see the kid walking around the hall in my parents' house. Or one time I heard a basketball bouncing in the house, and nobody was home. And then I like looked down the hall, nothing. And then like later on in the like, it's rare for my parents' home to be empty. So for me to be there by myself, it was weird. And then I heard like in the bedroom somebody jumping on the bed, and I was like, "All right, fucker, enough with this shit. Like you don't need to keep fucking with me. I know I'm by myself." And another time, my mom said she woke up like at 3 a.m. and her broom was in the center of her room, just standing. And I was like, I think that was a ghost telling you to clean your fucking room. Well, you know it's bad when the ghosts want to clean.
Yeah. He's leaving dust footprints everywhere he goes.
Yeah.
I can't be sneaking with this shit.
My grandmother did pass there like a few years ago, and my mom had roommates that she was sick of living there, and she was like, "How am I gonna get rid of these people from living in my house?" And that one night, somebody was knocking on the roommate's door, and she opened it, and they described my grandmother, and they had never met her, and they described her to the T. That she said she opened the door and she talked to these people in Spanish, and she was all, "Where's the loud ones?" Because she called my parents the loud ones when she was living with them. On her final days, she would call them the loud ones, and she asked these people, "Where's the loud ones at?" And that the lady like just stood at her door like frozen, and she closed the door. Like the next day, she told my mom, "We're putting in our 30 days." So like my grandmother takes care of business for them, I guess.
That's awesome, dude. See, I like that too. Like that's what I mean. Like, dude, they like when I was little, dude. My again, I didn't see this or anything like this, but when my mom passed in the house when I was 4, and my dad brought a lady to live with us. Her name was Blanca, and she used to take care of me and shit like that. And well, I remember I was in like first or second grade, so I had to be like 7 years old, like, you know, so it was a couple years after she had passed. And she tells me she was like downstairs, like in the living room, and she was crying when I came in. And Blanca didn't speak English, and I didn't speak Spanish, so that's how I learned Spanish, and that's how she learned English, by talking to each other and shit like that, right?
Is
so
it
I'm trying to
a situation like from Goonies where you're like mouth talking to the maid, like telling her, "This is where we keep drugs, this is where we keep the sex slaves."
Later on in life, yes, it was. But like in those times, we were really trying to we'd be like, quesadilla, yeah, like, you know, and shit. So she's crying, and she goes, "Your mom was here," and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And she's like, I hear your mom crying in the bedroom," and she didn't know my mom had died in that bedroom, and I was like, "Oh." What'd she say? And she's like, I don't know. I didn't talk to her. Like, in Spanish, she's telling me I didn't talk to her. She's like, but I yelled, just like Isaac was saying. He's like, I yelled out, your son is going to be okay. And she said she never heard, after that, she never heard her ever again. And so, like, things like that, like, we love scary stories, but I like those stories too, where it's like, they come back somehow and help you out and know that they're always watching you and stuff like that. So, I mean, I believe in the afterlife and all that stuff, but I just want to see it. Like, there, I want to be that guy, and I think that's why I've never seen it, because I'm so eager to see it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, where I'm fucking looking, because everyone who sees it's always like, oh, I wasn't even expecting it, and all of a sudden this happened. So I have to like always talk to myself. Like, if I go to the Ghost Adventures Museum, we walk around, you're not going to see nothing. You're not going to see nothing. You're not going to. No, I didn't see anything. Okay, let's keep going. Shit like that. You know what I mean? Like,
I took the Queen Mary tour, but I didn't. There was a bunch of people around and everything, so I didn't really see anything. But I remember when we were kids, my brother was really scared of the dark, and my parents would always give us gifts to like share. So like, oh hey, this is a Nintendo for you guys to share or whatever. And I'd always be like, dude, it's your turn to go dump the trash. But I heard demons out there by the trash can, so good luck fucking dumping the trash at nighttime by yourself with the demons. And he'd be like, oh no, there's demons. I'm like, dude, give me your half of the Nintendo and I'll go fucking dump the trash for you. And he'd be like, I don't want you to have my Nintendo. I was like, fuck you, you got to deal with the demons, dude. Either the demons or dad, or you got to give me that shit. And by the time we got like into our teens, like, I had usurped all of his property. Everything that they had given both of us to have was mine.
You swindled your brother. Man, you're a swindler.
Oh, that's fucked up, dude.
Oh, but he was scared, dude. He had like he would even like, he was a bedwetter, but he wasn't a bedwetter because
the person telling him that there was demons under his bed.
Yeah, he was the bedwetter because he was afraid to go to the bathroom by himself at night when it was dark and shit.
Dude, did you see the new Boogeyman trailer? The new Stephen King movie?
No.
I've just seen like a quick snippet. It's I'll go to the website to find the trailer.
Dude, it was fucking. I was like, oh, I'm in. Like, there's a scene where she's like, it's the whole thing. The parent goes in, looks in the closet. There's no boogeyman, and stuff. There's a little girl sitting there. She's got this little like ball that lights up, right? And she's laying in bed. And what does every like scary movie do with the boogeyman do, right? They slowly open it and cracks open. You know what I mean? Now this one, it flies the fuck open like meanly. It made me jump. I'm holding my phone. I was like, oh God, like Jesus, like it startled me. I was like, what the fuck was that? And then like you see kind of like the carpet move. And so the little girl reaches underneath the bed with the ball of light, and she's like looking, and you don't see anything. And then she lets go of the ball as it rolls through there. All of a sudden, you just see a quick glimpse of it. I was like, oh, fuck this. I'm going to see this the day it comes out. This made my butthole pucker. Like,
Liz wants to go. Liz wants to go. Liz is all
dude.
in.
Let's do it, Liz. Let's do it. That thing, I scared the shit out of me. I was like, oh, I don't even know what the plot is, but there's a boogeyman underneath that little girl's bed. Like,
I'm like the perfect date for those types of movies, like that you always wanted when you were like younger, where I'm like buried or do this number. Josh, what's happening? Tell me what's happening. Just tell me what's happening. I don't
just look into the bucket of popcorn, baby.
That's what I was thinking.
Just look into the popcorn, baby.
That's my wife, dude. That's why I love my wife, dude. My wife she literally, before we got married, it was in our nuptials that she has to watch one horror movie a year with me. One. And I that's why I'll watch every horror movie, and I find the worst one, and I go, guess what we're watching tonight? Put it on, dude. And the Conjuring.
Death of the Baby.
The Conjuring, dude, is my favorite one to show her, because she literally, after the first scene in The Conjuring where they're in the house, and the second one and the chair starts rocking and shit, I looked over at her. She was crying. She had tears flowing out of her eyes. She was like, "Please don't make me watch this." And I'm laughing my ass off.
That is funny.
I looked at her. I go, "Oh, now you have to watch this movie, dude. Like you have to watch it." Like there's another time I put one movie on. I don't even remember what horror movie. Maybe it was the first Conjuring. And I told her, I go, honey, either you gotta take it in the butt, watch this movie, or pick one or the other. she walked in the room and she grabbed some Vaseline.
There's always time for lube.
She grabbed the Vaseline. She said, "Come on," and I started laughing. So hard. I said, "You know what, dude? If you're that well, if you don't want to watch it that bad, I'm okay with it. Go ahead. We'll pass on that." I'm telling you, dude. Like, her mom though is my favorite. My favorite. She's the typical Hispanic, like mixed in with a little bit of a black lady. Like, it doesn't matter what we remember the movie Unstoppable with Denzel and Chris Pine about the train that runs away, right? Like, there's no villain in that movie. There's no monsters in that movie, right? It's just the train going, and they got to stop it, right? That's the plot. That's the plot of the movie. There's no drugs, no nothing.
It's like Speed without Dennis Hopper.
And no bomb. There's no bomb on the bus. Right? There's nothing like that, right?
Just unstoppable.
That's unstoppable. Me, my mother-in-law. So I take her to the movies all the time because she'll see everything with me. So with my mother-in-law, right? And then there's another guy sitting next to us, right? Every 5 minutes when the train was about to like derail or something, hi, she going, oh, how are they gonna do it? And I'm laughing, dude. I'm like, and then the guy next to me is busting up laughing. So literally it was a comedy for us. Could not stop laughing. There's only been one movie that we've ever all watched and she didn't say nothing, and that was Heredity. Like, that was the one movie. I don't know if you guys seen that, but like the opening of that. Yeah, that movie's fucked up. In the opening of the movie, this little kid gets his head knocked off, and when that point happens in the movie, like, no one in the house even was breathing. We were just like, and then at the end of the movie, everyone just looked at each other like we just did something really bad. Like, you know, that looked like we all just watched a really dirty porno, and we shouldn't be sitting here together watching it, and we just looked at each other like, all right, I'll see you guys later. I gotta go take a shower. Yeah, other than that, like, and she keeps telling me that's why I haven't watched Megan yet, because she wants to watch it with me. I was like, oh, I'll wait to watch it with you, dude. Like, I want to see what you do when that little girl does the breakdance shit and fucking.
No, when she's running through the woods, like that. Even that stupid thing, like when she's running on all fours in the woods. I'm like, fuck this. I don't want to see this. No,
and that's why James Wan is the man, dude, right there.
I can't watch the previews. I started watching the preview for The Evil Dead, and I started watching it, and I turn it. And I go, Josh, tell me what's happening. I can't do it. Like, that
lady, as she's all fucked up, like doing that thing with her nails. I was like, God, this was nasty.
Hard pass. Hard pass.
I'm all in for that one, dude. I am all in. Yeah, dude, and I watched The Fabelmans this weekend, dude. You guys should check it out. It's really good. Like, it was well done movie. Like, very good, and it's like it reminded me of an old school Spielberg movie. You know what I mean? Like, it was very heartfelt. It's got a good plot. You know, I know a lot of people are turned off because it's a story kind of about his life, but it's still really well done. Like, it's a smart movie.
We have so much stuff to catch up on. It's not even funny.
Isaac. Fucking, I was telling Steve we had a problem because Arizona Con the same day as Cocaine
There's
Bear.
no problem.
Cocaine Bear was supposed to come out in January.
I know, but it's coming out February 24th.
Oh, well,
they
they
wanted
fucked
to fuck
up.
with me. They wanted
We'll
to
watch
fuck
it
with
over
me.
there.
See, that's a homie right there, Steve. Right there.
I'll
Boom.
watch
I
it
didn't
with
even have
you.
to have
I'll
it.
go watch it
Boom.
with you.
You can stay locked up in your room, Steve.
I know ain't nobody will be starting locked up with that
I'm
room.
gonna lock your ass up, dude.
He's
We're
gonna
gonna
fall
lock.
asleep anyways. I don't even know why we're arguing about this. He'll be passed out by the time we fucking get ready to go to the theater. Ain't no problem. I don't know why.
You know-
I don't know why
you
we're
notice-
arguing over here.
You notice Havok didn't tell any ghost stories because he didn't want to bring up Comic-Con
he
dealing
falls
with them
asleep.
demons.
Oh, yeah. Steve fought demons this past July, dude. He was literally fighting demons for 9 hours. He was in his own
watching-
personal hell.
That was one of the worst
I was watching
times of
Little
my
Nicky,
life.
and it sounds like
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just
exactly how he
sounds
was.
like-
He was sleeping just like little Nicky.
That was so bad. I couldn't move. I couldn't move. I couldn't do nothing.
Someone help me.
It was bad. I was like,
Get you next
I
time,
can't do
betcha.
no more edibles. I'm done.
I'm gonna bring a box of Popeye chicken. I'm just gonna throw it at him and just fucking throw the chicken at him.
So he
No more
impersonates
edibles.
Dr. Claw when he sleeps.
He,
Sounds like
he,
fucking. I'll get
he
you
was
next time.
seriously
Gadget.
crying in the corner.
I was so high.
Hail Mary's full of grace.
At
Hail
one
Mary's
point, he
full of
just
grace.
sat up and sat there for a bit, and I was like, "Steve, you good?" He's like, "Oh." So we're just like, "Damn, he's going through some shit. Let's go back out, boys." Man, he's on a journey we cannot help him on.
I was
Not like we could-
back like
Not like we
around-
could inception that ass. Get
Yeah,
him to
I
help
was
him.
back to normal around like 4 o'clock in
There's
the
your
morning, 4:30 in
Inception
the morning.
movie. Going into the mind of a goblin.
Yeah, it was
Fought,
fun.
he fought tooth and nail to stay alive. It was funny was when Nando
He
came in
dreamed
too.
that he went
Nando
to,
was
to
like,
Rancho Santa Margarita in the
Nando was like, "We
90s
need to
and went on
help
top
him."
of a pole,
What?
stood on a bush.
I think it's funny though when the people see Steve for the first time sleep, they get the same reaction we all do. Like we panic, like the first time me and Steve shared a room, I was like, dude, this guy's gonna die on me. Like I gotta stay awake to fucking make sure he's alive. But then like by the time we're in San Diego Comic-Con, like Isaac said, we just looked at him and we're like, nah, he's fine, dude. Fuck it, come on.
Nando was funny because he was just scared. Are you guys sure? Like so concerned. That's his life, bro. That's his life. Let's go.
Yeah, well, those edibles did not help that weekend. It was.
I'm gonna try to bring some when we go with the
I ain't never taking edibles again from you.
Why?
You'll be edible bear.
Yeah. Fuck that. No more. That was
Get
horrible.
higher, baby. Get higher, baby.
Now it's just cocaine from here on.
What up, Tricky?
Well, now starting from this Sunday on, all these new, not all new, but all the concerts are about to start now. The beginning of the con season again. From Cal Comics to the Arizona Book Fest to WonderCon,
ECC.
and then
if
Amazing
Pasadena
Vegas.
was any indication, there's going to be a lot of people coming out too.
Where's the Knoxville one? I think there's one out here in Knoxville in April. There's like
You
a
guys
whole
going?
bunch of people coming to that one. Yeah, because Knoxville's what, a couple hours from us? 4 or 5 hours?
Like 3 hours.
3 hours. So we might do that one. That's why I told you Kevin Smith's gonna be there. Maybe I'll have my own Kevin Smith story.
Hell yeah.
There you go.
But
I saw Kevin Smith at whatever the Mattel con is, the Master of the Universe con. I got a picture. He was all skinny with his purple jacket. Gave him a hug. It was cool.
Yeah, he's a good guy. I like that guy.
I can't remember which comic people are going to be there because they just keep announcing all these actors. and
That's what
voice
ECC
actors
is doing
and
right
stuff,
now.
Yeah.
But
Dude,
That's why I laugh when they say it's a Comic Con. I'm like, well, then show the comic creators, dude. Don't.
Yeah,
You know,
they're
I
showing
know.
me fucking all these actors and shit, and I'm just like, dude, I am not impressed with ECC.
Yeah.
Not
I mean,
yet. There's nothing.
I'll give it to Amazing Jimmy and all them because the
It's a
first ones
comic
he
show.
showed, yeah, he showed you the comic people first, and then he shows you the couple of the actors and stuff like that. Which is, again, I like that shit. I like going to get the
Yeah,
stuff
I'm
from
hoping
certain
to get a
actors.
few more.
Jimmy shows you the shit, bro. Jimmy shows you
I
the
hope to
shit.
get a couple more comic book people. They need like one or two more.
No, they will. I mean, we still got time. I mean, like you were saying, the con season's coming up quick, and that's like trying to pick which ones we're gonna go do and stuff like that. Like that's I know you guys are gonna be hopefully going to New York, so you're gonna be our New York correspondents and shit.
Hell yeah, I can't wait.
We'll have to go live, and we'll do a cross country one or something like that, and we'll do live bidding. Have you guys pick up shit? How much you guys want for this one? Or this one? Or that one?
That's gonna be a lot of good cons this year.
All right, I think that should do it for us. 11:06. I know it's Dark 30 out in Scotland.
It's already tomorrow.
It was fun. I actually had a good time with the ghost stories, so it's a little bit different than what we normally do, but I don't know. I liked it. I thought it was fun, especially, man. I'm in here in the garage, and I hear noises and shit coming from behind the cabinets. Like, I'll hear the cold by myself. And fucking Josh's monster's gonna be fucking springing up from behind me or something.
Yeah, Josh, your story I think won, dude. Like if I had to pick any one of those things to write about, it'd be that fucking story because you even delivered it very well, dude. Like that's what I'm saying. Like,
with you guys, the way you guys were all like suited up and laid the groundwork.
That sold me. That was like I'm all ready for war, dude.
That's like an '80s movie.
We wanted to be ready, man. If I'm gonna tussle with a 7-foot tall ape, man, I gotta be armored up.
Yeah, that was a movie for sure.
And a baseball.
Mine, you might be able to stretch it into like one Twilight Zone episode or something like that, but
I've pitched anthology stuff for a long time, but it's like the one thing that like you can never get. Like you have to be Quentin Tarantino or something to be able to get.
Man, anthologies are so good though.
I know.
They're
I
the
love
best.
Anthologies.
I love
Creep Show.
I love the Tales for the Crib.
Thanks for the ride, lady.
I love the Twilight Zone movies. Like those were all good fucking movies.
Well,
they
even
need
on,
to
like,
make more of them.
The publishing side, when we would do book
like the
publishing,
comic.
I always liked doing the anthology stuff because you would pick a theme, and then you would just get submissions based off of that theme, and then you would pick out the ones that were,
good. Yeah,
it was a lot of fun.
Did you guys remember that girl that went missing? They did that Netflix series, like a documentary about her. She ended up in the water tank. Like she was in the elevator.
Yeah.
Oh, the Asian chick?
Yeah, that
one at the hotel.
The one she was tripping out in the elevator and shit?
Yeah.
Hotel or whatever the fuck.
So when that first happened, I like wandered down the rabbit hole like Fuzzy does, and I learned about this fucking elevator game that they play out there in Japan. And they were saying that's what she was doing. And then when I read about it, I was like, oh, dude, this is a fucking like movie in itself. But it was, again, it's a short story. You know what I mean? You can't make it was hard to stretch it out. So I was like, well, what if that was the thing for the anthology? And so the idea is you go in the elevator and it has to be a certain amount of floors. And then you hit these certain numbers. And then when you get to the top floor, you're in another dimension. And then if you go out, you'll get stuck. And that's why she peers out and she does that supposedly, and then does like that. Going
Dude, we have a movie right now. We have an anthology movie with all those fucking stories, and then Josh's is the anchor. It's like the little kid getting the seeds on Creep Show, where you keep on going back to him in between the anthologies. Fuck Fuzzy, you got it right now. You could just go back to March 30th, and you got your fucking.
Hey, dude, I'm telling you, like that's why I like shooting the shit with people, like with you guys and fucking everyone, because it's like you hear stories and you go, "Oh, that's fucking good. I like that one, dude. That's a good one." Like that again. That is even the way he was describing it, like you said, suiting up, going out there, the way the trees look, like he laid out a good picture. Like there's something there, but like you can have maybe them telling stories oh, did you hear about this story? And then they tell the story and boom, like that while they're looking for the Sasquatch and shit like that. Like that's something. But then in my version, fucking most of y'all die. I'm sorry, dude. Like fucking, you can't live. Like that's the way the Fuzzy does things. I don't like my heroes to survive. My heroes die for a good cause and shit like that.
All right, y'all. So Vikram next week, and then if we got any other ideas for,
We should watch Galaxy Quest.
Yeah.
Feast. You guys should watch Feast.
Shut up,
All
Isaac.
for Liz.
I'm down to watch Feast.
Liz, I think you will like the first Feast. It has Jason Mewes in it. Fucking, it has like all these people in it. Did you like Tremors?
Oh, Tremors is like my favorite movie.
This is a little darker version of Tremors. So like the silliness that happens in Tremors, where you're going like, what the fuck, like, you know, and they're saying things. It's got that in it. It's just more of a horror movie than Tremors was. That's all. But it's funny like that. The first one. The second one is just they don't give a shit. You know what I mean?
Fine. All right, fine. We'll watch Feast.
Yeah.
Like I'm like the one that the peer pressure works on. Like, you know what I mean? Come on, Liz. It's okay.
Come on, man. Everyone else is doing it, bro.
Trick and Trapster, what's the first best monster movie?
All right, we'll watch Feast.
Godzilla.
The second best monster movie. Oh man, that's hard, dude. Because I'm a sucker for the classics, and they're not scary. Like I love Freddy. Like that, like anything Freddy is just fucking I'm all about. But he's not scary. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you're talking like scary, fuck, dude. What was the last one that really got me? The Conjuring, dude. Like that's the last movie that really got me. Like where I was just like, fuck this. And then when I met James Wan and we were talking about making a movie, that's all I kept talking to him about. I was like, if you can make this like The Conjuring, you could have it. You could take. I won't even charge you. Take the motherfucker.
Pumpkinhead.
Pumpkinhead. Yeah, but Pumpkinhead's just like a fucking metal movie.
I can watch Pumpkinhead because that's like the old like 80s, early 90s stuff.
Yeah, that's not scary to me. Like that.
Like, the new stuff, Saw and Hostel and.
Dude,
like,
the first Jeepers Creepers was legit.
I like Jeepers Creepers.
Yep.
I can watch Jeepers Creepers, no problem.
All right, we gotta wrap it up.
Yeah.
All right, dude.
We gotta wrap it up.
We could go all night.
Peace and that Popeyes grease, baby.
What was it? Butt grease. Butt grease.
I didn't smoke enough for butt grease.